illegal discharges of synthetic forever chemicals. The chemicals known as PFAS have been used to make products resistant to water, grease, and stains. The settlement is the first by the federal government to resolve enforcement claims against a manufacturer of harmful chemicals. Under the agreement, Chemours will pay a civil penalty of $22.5 million for alleged violations and spend $90 million over 15 years to mitigate PFAS discharges in 3 states: West Virginia, North Carolina, and New Jersey. The company also agreed to install PFAS pollution controls and to supply clean drinking water to the affected communities. Combined, the penalties and relief programs are expected to cost $450 million. Hi up in Juwani.
3:58, time to check in on the roads now. Traffic with Neil Fiorito.
Very high travel times across the expressways. Eden's coming in, you're at 50 on the Kennedy, about an hour 10 on either side. If you're outbound, you save about 5 in the express lanes. Crash cleared on the Eisenhower inbound past Independence. Your travel time an hour 3 in, hour 12 out to the Jane Addams. Stevenson outbound an hour 2 just to get to the Tri-State, an hour 18 to the Veterans. You're 55 to drive in. The Dan Ryan 50 minutes out, 27 in from the merge into downtown. 57 still really heavy coming in from 119th to Halstead. Emergency vehicles handling a crash in the right lane. 25 inbound, 20 on the way out. Ford is 27 to drive out to 8094. Next reports at 408 News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Mostly cloudy for the rest of today. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 10 p.m. Could get some thunderstorms around into early tonight. We'll keep you posted. Tonight's low around 64. We've got 66 cloudy at O'Hare now.
Featuring the news that matters and breaking news at any time. This is Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Coming up in the next half hour on News Radio WBBM, severe storms could make their way through parts of Chicagoland this afternoon and evening. We're going to check in with AccuWeather for an update. Evanston Mayor Daniel Biss sets his resignation date so the race to replace him can begin next spring. Plus, tense words exchanged today between the president and GOP Senator Bill Cassidy over the war in Iran. The latest coming from ABC News. Cubs win game 1 of a split doubleheader with the Mets. Sox host Cleveland.
I'm Monica Ricks at Bloomberg, and stocks wavered today on Wall Street ahead of Micron's earnings and more uncertainty over AI. The Dow added 182 points, but the Nasdaq was down 110. The S&P slipped 7 points.
We're seeing peaks of the sun, 66 degrees now at 4 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Lindsay Davis, anchor Prime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. Disappointed Republican lawmakers who had lunch on Capitol Hill with President Trump today had a surprise serving of tension and shouting. Many had expected a political win-win in an election year with the president signing a bipartisan affordable housing bill, but he canceled it, insisting Congress first pass his Save America Act, an election-related measure. After the lunch, the president.
I think we had a really great meeting, and we're very proud of the party. We like our leader. We like everybody really in the room. I don't like a few people, but that's okay. I think you know who they are.
One of those might be Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy. He indicates that what sources tell ABC News is correct, that the meeting was tense with the president frustrated over yesterday's War Powers resolution vote. Cassidy says that he and the president raised their voices. Cassidy says he asked Trump about the Iran war.
You have not told the American people what's going on. It was supposed to last 4 weeks. It's lasted 4 months. Our original objectives have not been achieved. And I want to know what's going on.
Cassidy says he makes no apologies. A federal judge today permanently barred Trump's executive order implementing a proof of citizenship requirement to vote. ABC's Peter Haralambous.
Judge Denise Casper wrote that the Constitution, quote, does not grant the president any specific powers over elections. Separate from today's ruling, Trump earlier this year signed a second executive order on voting to create a national list of verified voters. That policy is still being challenged in court.
A life-threatening heat wave is smothering much of Western and Southern Europe. ABC's James Longman reports in London.
Spain, Italy, and the UK all sweltering. Rome, one of 15 Italian cities under a red warning, the highest weather alert possible. And in London, the changing of the guard has been cancelled for the rest of the week.
Wall Street major indexes closed the day mixed. The Dow higher, the S&P and Nasdaq lower. You're listening to ABC News.
Hey, it's Jeff from Jeff Buys Your House. When people call us, they're not just selling a house. They're usually dealing with something bigger. A major life change, a family transition, or an overwhelming situation. We recently helped a family in Aurora. The mom needed memory care, and her kids were trying to coordinate everything from out of town. The house was full of 40 years of belongings, and they were completely overwhelmed. They told us they didn't have the time or energy for repairs and a major cleanout. We bought the house as is and gave them the time they needed to take what mattered. Family photos, heirlooms, whatever they wanted. And we handled the rest. After closing, they sent us a note. You gave us time to grieve, not just sell a house. Since 2007, our veteran-led team has helped hundreds of Chicagoland families through difficult transitions with no pressure and no gimmicks. If you're ready for an obligation conversation, call us at 630-593-7493. That's 630-593-7493 or jeffbuysyourhouse.com.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
It is 4:03, Wednesday, the 24th day of June. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lisa Fielding. We have cloudy skies, 67 degrees. We've seen the sun kind of in and out today. We're keeping an eye on the possibility for severe weather into this evening. Here with more on what to expect is AccuWeather senior meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Yeah, Lisa, we've been seeing some showers coming through the area. That's been keeping things a little on the cooler side across much of the area, but across some of the western suburbs, the sun has come back out and temperatures have gone back into the 70s. There are some thunderstorms that have developed in south central Wisconsin. We have numerous severe thunderstorm warnings around the Janesville area in south central Wisconsin. These are moving off toward the south and east. So we're going to continue to watch for the threat for some strong thunderstorms into this evening. There's a severe thunderstorm watch until 10 this evening for Lake McHenry, Kane counties in Illinois, and points west along with southern Wisconsin. Some of these storms could bring damaging wind gusts, hail, and a flooding downpour. We will see things later on tonight. Brian Thompson, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
All right, Brian, thanks so much. We're going to check in with Brian again coming up at 4:15. A driver was killed while changing a tire on I-80-94 in the south suburbs this morning. Illinois State Police say the crash happened in the westbound lanes near Torrance. It caused a major traffic backup into the Indiana state line, and ISP continues to find out how that will happen. Well, Daniel Biss has announced when he'll resign as Evanston mayor to clear the way for a special election next spring. The story from WBBM's Nancy Hardy.
I will be resigning from the office of mayor as of October 18th.
Biss made the anticipated announcement after the State Board of Elections shared the primary will be February 23rd. If no candidate gets more than 50% of the vote, then the runoff will be April 6th. Since winning the Democratic primary for the 9th Congressional District in March, Biss has been under pressure to vacate the mayor's office with enough time for a special election. He announced his plans during his final State of the City address to a crowded room.
I'm not here to dispense legal advice to any of you who may be planning on running. Perhaps if Evanston's recent history is accurate, all of you will wind up running.
Candidates should be able to begin circulating petitions on July 28th. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Meantime, the woman who's been Chicago City Clerk for nearly 10 years says she wants 4 more years in that position. Heather Valencia formally launched her re-election campaign with the release of a video in which she talks about her upbringing as the daughter of a working-class family from the Metro East area town of Granite City.
My dad, a proud union painter, worked hard to support our family. But when my mom lost her $25,000 per year job after battling breast cancer, there were many times we lived paycheck to paycheck.
Valencia is 41 and was first appointed in 2016 to take over from now State Comptroller Susana Mendoza. She fell short in a 2022 bid to be Illinois' Secretary of State. A well-known Chicago businessman who's known by the nickname Mr. Finance is now being sued by more than 24 people who say he's committed investment fraud. Disparity Law Group announced that it's filing a lawsuit against Brandon Ellington and his company Access Capital. Attorney Jamal Buchanan is representing 31 plaintiffs.
Their investment money was being used to pay earlier investors in what the Secretary of State has categorized as a Ponzi-like scheme.
The suit demands that all the money the plaintiffs invested be returned along with damages. Members of Congress and labor leaders came together to demand the BP end the lockout of more than 800 workers at its refinery in Whiting.
They were not holding back. Members of the Congressional Labor Caucus throwing F-bombs at BP over the lockout, including Debbie Dingell of Michigan and Donald Norcross of New Jersey.
Well, BP is sending a message they don't give a about safe working conditions.
If you don't want to play by our rules and take care of our people in our country, go back where you came from.
Northwest Indiana Congressman Frank Mervan.
Quote from Abraham Lincoln, "All that harms labor is treason to America."
The workers have been locked out for more than 90 days. Labor leaders say the company is trying to break the union. A statement from the company says BP also wants to end this lockout, and the best path is for union leaders to return to the table with a counter-proposal and continue meaningful dialogue. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
And just in time for the 4th, Metra designer is unveiling the special locomotive that commemorates America's 250th birthday. The locomotive is painted red, white, and blue, of course, in 3 horizontal lines on both sides with the America 250 logo in the middle, so onlookers can get the same visual impact from either side. On the nose of the train, it includes Metra's signature chevrons in patriotic colors. The locomotive is the 26th of 42 remanufactured locomotives that Metra ordered from Progress Rail that will remain running in the foreseeable future. From trains to automobiles, traffic and weather together on the 8s at 4:08. Here is Neil Fiorito.
Yeah, Lisa, a lot of automobiles on the roads today. Most of the tollways are really packed today, especially on the veterans. That's your trouble spot, 355 southbound at North Avenue. Crash getting cleaned up on the left shoulder, and you're pretty jammed up from I-290. The rest of the roadways, including our expressways, very high travel times. 57 on the frequency mode. Your trouble spot is right near Halstead, where emergency vehicles are blocking the right lane with a vehicle that went up the embankment. That's why you're stopped and go from 119th Street. 25 in, you're 20 out to I-80. Travel time on the Edens inbound at 50 minutes. Heavy in spots from the spur all the way to the junction. The Kennedy is really heavy inbound from Cumberland to pass the Windrush Mural, New North Avenue and 8 of Jane Byrne. An hour 10 in, about the same going outbound. Eisenhower Expressway out to Mannheim, 48, an hour 12 to the Jane Addams. Coming in about an hour 3, you're 55 in for Mannheim. No trouble spots on the Stevenson, just bad traffic outbound. 45 to get to Cicero Avenue, the Midway Airport exit. Hour 2 to the Tri-State, hour 18 to 355, and 55 to drive in. 34 between the Tri-State and the Lakefront. The Dan Ryan is 50 out, 27 to drive inbound. Bishopport 27 out, 16 in. Usaba Lakeshore Drive is really heavy on either side through the Gold Coast and Graham Park. Southbound traffic solid getting into Hyde Park. Route 53, typical delays because of ongoing construction on both sides in the northwest suburbs. A lot of delays in the southwest bridge on I-80. Westbound passing 57, 30 to Larkin. Eastbound traffic to Larkin and Fort Woods. And spots from Bridge to 57. Crash on both sides of 8094 in northwest Indiana. Now a crash on 94 eastbound. Past the Chestnut to Chestnut in the left lane. From the Metra Traffic Center, next report, 418, News Radio 105.9, WBBM.
Cloudy skies and deep severe thunderstorm watch until 10 p.m. Mostly cloudy for the rest of tonight. 64. Tomorrow, partial sunshine with a spotty shower, especially in the afternoon, with a high of 81. 67 at O'Hare, 77 in Aurora, 66 in Wheeling. Stocks finished the day mixed, now up 182. It's 410.
Break your thumb was almost.
As you hear, it is 4:10 p.m., June 24th, 2026. Thanks for tuning in. It's SubX.News on the spot reporting here. We're in Streeterville. It's a wild weather stuff. It's hot, it's cold, it's humid, it's rainy, it's dry. We'll see how it goes. I've been thinking about what we should talk about. There's a lot of crime issues. A lot of other things, but I think the biggest thing that stuck out with me is the money now being poured out to the citizens. They announced $150 million in grants or something now going out to people. Junulius has $18 million in his Alexei Junulius has $18 million in his campaign finance bank that can now be given to any candidate in any amount. That's what happened yesterday, because the operating engineers, 150, I believe, gave him $250,000, and that brings that uncaps the limit now. And they gave it to him into his mayoral campaign, not his Secretary of State campaign. That means he can give money to any mayoral candidate, and he hasn't even declared yet if he's running for mayor, which I don't even know if he's electable here in Chicago. I don't know. He might be. He might not be. I don't know. I don't think he is. He barely won that Secretary of State stuff, and there was a challenger that he didn't give up too much of a fight from the challenger, and Junulius didn't get in there that easy. the last I remember. So I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he can win Chicago. He might win in a runoff, but he can't win head on. So, and I think if there's a Hispanic and somebody else, I don't think he has a chance, to tell you the truth. I really don't. So that's just my opinion. So then the question is who gets his $18 million? I think he'd give it to Brandon Johnson. I mean, they're part of the same party, so, and that same kind of a left, ultra left kind of a part. I mean, I don't know if he's ultra left, but he's more conservative, I believe, Junilius. But I think that's where the money's going to go. I think if Junilius gave the money away, it would go to Brandon Johnson. That's just my view. So that's my opinion. That's all I got there, right? I'm looking at some posts here about some crime, right? And that's it. Maybe we'll listen to some radio calls, see what's going on. I think there's a little bit of a lull because of the killings, and they don't want to keep being on the TV because the only thing that people ask for is you just had a mass shooting. I forgot to. We're up by 80 points, but I didn't give you the other statistics, which I'll post tonight when I get home. There's another batch of statistics on violence. It's per victim, and I'll publish that tonight. It's actually worse than the police department statistics. It's a lot higher. It's by about a percentage point higher in crime. It's real-time tracking of victims, and that's the city data portal. So I'll be posting that tonight. It actually has the statistics are worse. So that's why they fired those guys earlier in the year. I don't know if you remember. Brandon Johnson fired 2 guys from the safety something committee, Department of Safety. That's the department they want to switch now to the Department of Gun Violence. So they want to, what they want to do is fire everybody. Rename the department. Sounds familiar. Listen to this. Listen how it sounds. You know what I always say? Red and blue, we always lose, right? And you laugh at me and say, oh, you're silly, John. Republicans are better. Democrats are better. Whatever it is. No, red and blue, we always lose. So this is what he plans to do. They want to eliminate the Department of Safety or whatever it is over there. There's 2 guys he fired earlier in the year. It was right before the murder rate went sky high. It jumped. In 1 month, it jumped 20%. That month, I was reporting, and I said, they're going up. I was the first one to report it 2 weeks before they got fired. I said, it's going up. It's really going up. It's going to jump up really bad. And they got fired. So the thing that he's going to do is they want to wipe out that department, rename it, fire a bunch of people. You know, he's not going to fire everybody, but he'll fire the top. Maybe he'll fire 20, 30 people, reorg it, rename it, you'll reapply. So maybe only about 5 people might lose their jobs, but the other maybe 20 or 30 will keep them. And then what? They'll have a new boss. Listen up carefully, right? And they'll have a new boss. So now when they have a new boss, what do you think the new boss is going to say? 2 things. I'm the new boss, and if Brandon loses, you're all going to lose your job. And that's the meeting they're going to have, right? If they reorg this department to the gun safety department, right? Which is silly. So that's what they're going to do there. Does that sound familiar to anybody? How about the Department of War? You remember the Department of War? What was it called? The Defense Department, right? Now it's called the Department of War. Do you see the similarities here? There's no difference. Red and blue, they're the same. They do the same thing. And really the guy that perfected executive orders was actually not even Obama. I've been reading about it. It was Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton governed by executive orders, because if you do executive orders, what? It doesn't have to go through Congress. And then it's not really a law. It's just like, that's what I want done. It's like a policy issue. The other part is they do temporary heads of departments. That Trump perfected in his first presidency. If you assign an acting department head, they have to listen to you, but they don't have to be approved by Congress. Well, guess who else has that? Chicago. If you create a department or you have a department, each department head has to be approved by city council. Well, if you have an acting department head and say your reorg will be about $150,000 to $200,000 job with a staff, the staff alone will be $1 million, $1.5 million to $2 million. Just the top staff of the department, then the bottom staff, maybe another $1 million or $2 million. I don't know what's the department budget, but I'm just guessing right now. I'd say it's $5 million. I don't know. That's might be a little high for a Department of Safety. I don't know what the department is now, right? So now you have the top tier people beholden to you because you just gave them $150,000 jobs. They probably get a driver. They probably have an expensive account, and they probably have an auto account. They probably have security too. So that's what you have because that's the Department of Safety, right? They have cops in that department. So they intermingle the cop money with the executive money. What do you think those people are going to do between now and February, the election? They're going to do everything they can to get Brandon elected. Why? Because if he doesn't get elected, they lose their jobs. That's how that works. But it's not nothing new because Trump did the same thing. Executive orders enacting heads of departments. He did that for a while. That guy, the dog catcher. Don't you remember the dog catcher he had in his first presidency? You guys remember that, right? By the way, I didn't vote for Trump that first round. Man. I don't know who I voted for. I got to check my record. I don't even remember that. I think I voted for the Green Party or something. I didn't like the Democrat. I think that was in Biden one, right? I didn't vote for Biden. I didn't trust Biden. And I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for somebody. I think I voted for the Green Party or something. I don't know what I voted for. But that's how they manipulate the elections, and it's coming up. And if you heard the national news said the same thing. Trump's trying to pass a bunch of money stuff, and it's for the election. They said it right on the news, the ABC News. They said it straight out. Well, the same thing happens at the state level, same thing happens at the county level, the same thing happens at the municipal level. So that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing now with election spending, right? And here's the bigger thing that I'm going to look at, and I'm going to look at some numbers, and I don't know how to find it. I have to figure out. If you guys got some ideas, you can maybe tell me. I want to figure out, and we know this happens. We know it happens. I want to figure out, and I have to get the Lightfoot numbers too. Because Lightfoot was the mayor before Brandon. And I might have to go down to the district level staffing of the police department and the fire department and check. And I said this before about 6 months ago on one of my broadcasts, and I have to double check what I said and what I have to look for. I want to check if staffing levels have changed in certain areas or certain districts. That's what I want to check. Before and after the elections. That's what I want to check. I'm not... Yeah, what I see on the streets now is very discerning, I'll say that, right? Where I see things happening, especially here in the Central District, right? With me and Sergeant Lockett and them arresting people downtown. It's like, why did that happen? They weren't doing that before, right? So why would they do it right away now? And it's only a few months before the election. What's the orders and did the staffing levels change? That's what I want to look at, right? So if that is, then I think we as citizens should file a lawsuit for endangerment. Well, listen to some radio calls. If you got any ideas, send them to me. Yeah, they're all traitors. I agree with you.
All right, take 08473, 08473.
Yep. It's and think about it. Like the announcement of $150 million in grants today or yesterday came out from Brandon. We're giving grants. First of all, grants. Why didn't you do that? I was just talking to my wife before I came here. Think about this. Think about how scummy and criminal Brandon Johnson is. Think about this. If you're an honest man, or a woman, and you get elected, and you want change, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to target the places that are messed up, right? So we know that didn't happen because we still I drive through places that are messed up, right? First of all, right? You seen it yesterday. You guys were on the west side, right? You see roads in Portage Park that are messed up. You see a lot of things that are messed up. So nothing's fixed and it's all over the place, right? But you do see where they remove 10 cities where where the Bally's is, right? You do see where there you go, man. They're standing by the 7-Eleven. See that there? See that? How many people are by the 7-Eleven there? See that there? 1, 2. He smokes weed and people come and say, can I get weed from you, right? You got 1, 2, 3, 4. He's smoking weed in public, right? Laughing, right? And so if I'm an honest guy and I'm the mayor and I'm brand new and I want to fix something, first of all, I'm going to take care of my people. I said that before, right? If you're black mayor, you should have taken care of the black neighborhoods. I'm serious. You do that. That you take care of, especially if you say they've been historically disinvested in. Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you target the worst streets? Madison, 79th Street, maybe, I don't know. What else is down there bad? At South Exchange, maybe, right? I don't know if that's bad down there. But you can pick a couple of really bad areas, right? You can pick a couple of really bad areas and say, I want this fixed. And you pump a bunch of money in there right away as you get elected, right? Right away. First month. Sign those executive orders, make a new department. I want the reinvestment department, and I want to target these 4 or 5 areas in the city. I want this to be fixed. I don't want no plywood. I don't want drug open. I don't want open air drug markets. I don't want none of that. Blah, blah, blah. That's what this, I'm saying what I would do, right? Whether it's, I'm a white guy in an Irish neighborhood, or if I'm a Hispanic in a Hispanic neighborhood, I'm a black guy, whatever it is. And you do it. So when you're going along and you support these businesses while you're the mayor for 3 years, remember, this is his 4th year in office now. He's not a new guy. He's 4th year in office. So in his 4th year now, when the election cycle is coming around, what do? You check in on all those people. Hopefully you've already been working with them, so you just don't check in, give them money and leave. Hopefully you've been supporting them, whether it's with crime reduction, whether it's with fees and a bureaucracy reduction, whether it's you gave a business 3 years ago. Say you gave a business 3 years ago $1 million grant, right? So you say, hey man, every summer you're gonna hire 5 students, okay? Yeah, I gave you $1 million. You're gonna hire 5 students every year. So you kind of see these things that you could have been doing while you were the mayor. So now this year, now in the summer, when your election cycle starts coming, you would go back to those businesses and see which ones are successful, which ones are having problems, or which one went bankrupt or are not in business anymore. And you would analyze that, right? And you could talk about all that. The ones that went bankrupt, you can say why they went bankrupt. The ones that need help, you can give them some more help. And the ones that are successful, guess what? Now they're your talking points. Say, look, when I got into office 3 years ago, I helped those guys because that's what needed to be done. I didn't wait till election time. I did it immediately because that's what's the most urgent thing in our city, is helping businesses succeed. Because when a business succeeds, we make money and they become an employer. In this business, I told him they need to hire 5 students every year, and every year he's hired 5 students. And look, these 5 students each year, which is 15 of them, are now their own business owners, or now they're all working, or it's something like that. You see how that works? It's a snowball effect of positive, right? And that's the way I would have done it. I wouldn't wait till what? This is how you know Brandon Johnson's fake. Taking $150 million and you got 6 months till your election and giving it out for what? You're just buying votes. You're not fixing anything in 6 months. You're buying votes. That's what you're doing. You're buying a vote. You're buying somebody to vote for you. There's no other way to say that, because it's not structural. It's not a structural change. First of all, it's a grant. It's a one-time, here's some money. So it's a bribe. It's a bribe to vote for me. Why? That's all it is. Secondly, it's maybe a media, whatever you call it, make me look good. To me, it doesn't make you look good. If you've been in power for 3 years, this is your last year in office. It's 6 months before an election, and now you're giving businesses money. Why didn't you give it to them when you were just elected and help them along? Why did you wait 3 years? Well, because you're fake and you want to buy votes. That's why. That's my analysis. You can say whatever you want. You have your own opinions on the radio, right? Yeah, Roseland. Look at Roseland. Thanks for reminding me. I had a lot of stuff even before the mayor was elected out there. I've done a lot of organizing out in Roseland. Roseland, exactly, Roseland could be helped, right? Pullman has a little bit of private money because it's historic out there, but you could help a little bit in Pullman. So then the idea becomes, what's going to stop this guy? Well, nothing, because he's in power. Right? There's nothing going to stop this guy. He's going to continue to do what he's doing. There you go. And he's going to continue to use his office and our money as taxpayers to buy votes. And that's what I said today with one of the cartoons I posted. He's giving out grants to businesses, and he's saying, I am doing it. Yet, that's our money. So he's telling the businesses who pay taxes and have a hard time in the city because of fees, crimes, and slow economy, right? There's three things hitting our city. There's crime, there's an over-bloated bureaucracy, which means it's too expensive to do business and taxes, right? And a bad economy. There's three things hitting businesses right now in the city of Chicago. Bad, right? There you go. That skyscraper is empty. That skyscraper's been empty for a little while there. That's a high-rise with plywood right there. You're looking at it. I've done reports on that one. So, you got those three things working against you. And then the guy comes and says, oh, by the way, I'm giving you $50,000, $100,000. Even he gives a business $1 million, right? Whatever. Because look, I'm doing you a favor. Like, wait up, bro. You've been the mayor for 3 years, bro. What are you not doing me a favor right here? Maybe you should reduce crime. Maybe you should cut waste. Maybe you should cut the bureaucracy. Maybe you should try to fix the economy, like having tax-free zones in the city, right? Maybe you should have better enticements in the city where you bring more businesses in. Those three things are hitting us all at once. Crime, over-bloated bureaucracy in government, which is taxes and fees. And the last one is we have a bad economy. It's happening all at once. So this guy waits 3 years to say, I'm going to hand out $150 million and I'm going to fix everything. Look how I'm a hero. But first of all, that's their money, man. Secondly, grants don't help anybody. You know what you're better off? And I know you might not like this. You set up a department that has a bunch of money, and then you figure out how to help these businesses, whether it's with extra help, they need to do better advertising, maybe they need to do crime, maybe they need to do infrastructure or whatever it is in their neighborhoods, or whatever it might be. But you just don't give them a check. Giving people checks don't work. Why? Because the check will be gone pretty fast, especially in a city like this. All right, it's 4:30 and this is in the local news.
News Radio WBBM. It's been 4 years since Roe v. Wade was overturned by the Supreme Court. Now Illinois is rolling out new protections for reproductive rights.
A hearing on a proposal to ban video gaming terminals in Chicago busts.
This is a waste of time and resources.
I'm political editor Jeff Buckles at City Hall.
The body of a missing Northwest Indiana boy is pulled from Lake Michigan. And President Trump cancels the signing of a bipartisan housing bill. He's demanding that Congress pass a voter ID bill instead. Sports Sox host Cleveland. The Cubs win game one of a split doubleheader with the Mets. In business.
A mixed day on Wall Street as AI fears and a drop in chip makers dragged down stocks. The Dow added 182 points. The Nasdaq was down 110. The S&P lost 7 points. I'm Monica Ricks at Bloomberg.
We've got sunny skies downtown, 67 degrees at 4:31. Governor Pritzker has put pen to paper on changes he says cements Illinois as a place as a nationwide leader in reproductive health rights. Here's WBBM's Andy Dave.
Today we're taking another step forward in our pursuit of freedom.
The governor marking the 4-year anniversary of the Supreme Court overruling Roe v. Wade by announcing enhanced medical record protections and expanded access to contraception in Illinois pharmacies.
We're making sure that Illinois women never have to question whether their voices and their choices matter here. They do matter, and in Illinois they always will.
Contraception access will require new training at pharmacies as well as a patient review. Executive Director of the Chicago Abortion Fund, Megan Jafo, says it's been a tough 4 years. Illinois will not give up the fight for reproductive rights.
They have not stopped abortion. They have not stopped patients from seeking care, and they have not stopped all
all of us.
Andy Day, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Video gaming terminals still appear to be on track for Chicago's bars and restaurants. This is after a hearing on a new bid to block them abruptly ended.
This is a circus. Far South Side Alderman Anthony Beale wasted no time bashing allies of Mayor Brandon Johnson for calling a hearing on this proposal to ban video gambling terminals in the city in exchange for reopening talks with Bally's aimed at increasing casino hiring. Before that, Christopher Jewett from Bally's told Alderman the budget vote clearing the way for legalized video gambling will mean less money for the city's police and fire pension funds.
It will hurt the city's finances for years to come.
Hospitality industry lobbyist Pat Dorr called that claim hogwash.
Every other casino except for Rivers Casino has VGT terminals around it, and many of those casinos do better on a per-player revenue than Bally's temporary casino does.
And after criticizing the hearing, Beale did this.
I motion that we adjourn this meeting.
And it passed. It's not clear when or whether the proposal will get a vote. We're at City Hall. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The body of a missing boy has been found in Lake Michigan off the shore of Michigan City. The 13-year-old had disappeared on Monday night near Washington Park Beach. Indiana Conservation Officer Alex Neal says one of the boy's friends tried to rescue him, but the conditions were too dangerous.
So when the waves kind of crash over, you get a pulling effect from the waves as they come out. The area that he went missing along the Michigan City Pier, there is a bend there. So in that area, you get currents working in opposite directions. So one current pulling out towards the lake, another pulling kind of like a sideways toward the beach and down the beach. Unfortunately, he was just past that bend, so it pulled him out into the lake.
The body was found in about 11 feet of water. The teenager's identity has not yet been released. We've seen ICE agents show up near courthouses to detain immigrants. Now, Cook County prosecutors say they're trying to close a loophole that advocates claim has shared data that is supposed to be protected.
The state's attorney's office says it's working to restrict data sharing in its contract with Appriss Insights, the vendor for the state's victim notification system. That's according to the Sun-Times. Immigrant advocates have long argued the contract creates a backdoor for ICE to get sensitive jail data that goes around sanctuary laws restricting cooperation with federal authorities. The paper says a report from the group Adjust Futures Law found ICE in Chicago used the loophole to conduct online searches to generate 1,800 reports over a 6-month period. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
434, President Trump says he will no longer sign a bipartisan piece of legislation that aims to promote new home construction and bars private equity firms from buying homes. All but 5 senators voted in favor of that bill, but now the president says he won't sign it until the Save America Act is passed. That's the bill that would require proof of citizenship to vote. Over on Capitol Hill, House Democrats blasted the move. And President, House Democratic Caucus Vice Chair Ted Lieu of California.
Why is that? Did he wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Is he unable to stay awake today? What's causing him to chicken out again? Is it Taco Wednesday?
However, House Speaker Mike Johnson says he anticipates the housing bill will be signed in the next 10 days.
He's laser focused on Save America Act, as most common sense Americans are. The only path, I think, to get that done, because you're never going to get 7 Democrats to join 53 Republicans in the Senate to do that. They will not do it. Chuck Schumer will never vote for that or release any Democrat to do it. You have to put it on a reconciliation bill.
The president made clear that for now, at least, he's in no mood to compromise. New York is shining light on a fraught issue for Democrats.
Democratic congressional primary results in New York City are accelerating the party's debate over the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. A trio of candidates backed by Mayor Mamdani all won after harshly criticizing Israel. At Daria Liza Chevalier's Tuesday night victory party after beating Representative Adriano Espaillat, chants of free Palestine could be heard. Many progressives accuse Israel of genocide in Gaza, an accusation it rejects, and want Democrats to take a firmer stand against the Israeli government. Some centrist Democrats warn that the left flank is too extreme on Israel and other issues, risking losses for the party in November and complicating the 2028 presidential nominating fight. They point to how the issue vexed Kamala Harris's presidential campaign. Julie Walker, New York.
See 4abc.com for details. Summer is on the way. Can your AC take the heat? With ABC, help is just around the corner. Call today for your $49 Ultimate AC tune-up to stay cool and comfortable all summer long. Visit 4abc.com and consider it done.
See the Gen X Takeover Comedy Tour live on Saturday, September 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern at Four Winds Casino, New Buffalo's Silver Creek Event Center. It's a high-energy, live comedy experience that blends stand-up, storytelling, and sharp humor for a night of laughter and fun for everyone. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. The Gen X Takeover Comedy Tour, live on Saturday, September 12th at Four Winds Casino.
7389 Adam.
So there you go, right? They're fighting what for Bally's. Remember we did Bally's yesterday. We showed you, right? The Bally cleared out the 10th city, right?
08648, 08648.
And what are they saying? The gaming machines don't hurt Bally's, right? But if you got the mob involved, the mob says to do something. You know, Alexi Giannoulias is mixed with the mob too, right? That's how he can get 18 million bucks, right? Alright, let's keep moving, right?
738 Line check at
As you see, always look at the parking spaces. They're empty. They're empty. I don't need to tell you guys that anymore, right?
08656.
What's up, Marietta? Let me drink some juice. Let's keep moving. We're going to listen to some radio calls now. See what crime's going on. We'll do some chasing maybe. We'll do some more commentary. And see what we can do for change, right? I mean, I think the biggest thing that we need to be thinking about is how do we make sure that the people we vote for are going to do what they should for us. And I'm going to be honest with you. We're not going to have that much of a choice now. The way it's lining up, they're already... It looks like they want Brandon to win again. They haven't made that decision, I don't think, yet to run him again. But I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure that Brandon's going to run, and they're lining it up for that he goes for it. Unless something really bad happens between now and maybe December, he's running again, and he's going to win. So that's the way they're lining everything up. You can say, well, Mendoza's running just... Yeah, really? Well, and look, I think if the election was today, I'd vote for, I don't know, Carter or Mendoza, because Carter is running too, and she's a Republican. Maybe I'll vote for Carter, right?
Yes, at 11 in City West. I got
so
a
we'll
person
see.
coming in at details to follow 4743 West Jackson. Male, black, red shirt, black pants, has a gun standing on the bus stop. He has a gun in his hand. Male is white complexion. Is still coming in at details just for London office.
There you go, guy with a gun. Yeah, you got a gun, and you got to have a gun in Chicago. I don't know. It's not illegal to have a gun. That's all I got to say. I know there's laws against certain things, but you live in a certain neighborhood, I wouldn't hold it against you if you had a gun, right? That's the point I guess I'm trying to say. So I think if the election were held today, Brandon would win. So that's all I got to say. There's no real challenger, right? Mendoza's out there. She says a few things, which is okay, but there's no real... Here, you see that there? That's the Thompson building. When was the last good mayor? Rahm wasn't that bad. If it wasn't for Rahm, we'd be in a worse spot right now. Rahm brought in the movie industry through his brother Ari. That was the exchange. Rahm gave Ari Uber, because Rahm was the mayor, and he was the first municipality, big municipality to sanction Uber. So that made Ari a billionaire through Uber. He was already a billionaire, I think. And then in exchange, Ari gave him the movie industry. Right? Ari Emanuel. Some of the things he did was wrong. And you can argue it wasn't the best, but if it wasn't for Rahm, we'd be way worse than we are right now. I'll tell you that. That's all I got to say. I didn't agree with a lot of the stuff that Rahm did and said, and I didn't vote for Rahm. There you go. There's a bunch of people right there. See that there? You can smell the weed smoke, right? There's a whole bunch of stuff going on, man, right? See that there? There's our buddy Tom, right? Lots of stuff happening, right? So that's where we're at. That's about the snapshot of the city. And look, I'm gonna say this, and I think Susanna the one knows. I wish her luck. I think it's a breath of fresh air, but she's been part of the machine. She is the machine. She's not, and she might be a little to the right of the machine where she's law and order, maybe. But we've seen what happened with Eileen Burke. Didn't we see that with Eileen Burke? The first, you know, the guys that killed George Levin, the gay guy, right? That was killed by the migrants. Eileen Burke was already in power. She released those migrants. She released the migrants. You know, I was in court the other day. They released the migrant. A migrant was in court. He broke the law. He was there. The judge said, he's a migrant. Let him go. It's not a problem. The prosecutors didn't do anything. There's a migrant in court, broke the law. In the old days, when you were a migrant and you broke the law, you got deported. That's how it was in the old days. I know. My family's immigrants. If you broke the law, I'm not talking about driving, and even tickets they held against you, the government did, the feds did, the federal immigration. There was a guy in court, there was a migrant, he didn't even speak English. The judge said, it ain't our problem. That's not our problem, and he dismissed the case. So Eileen Burke is no better than Kim Fox. No better. Maybe, we'll see. Maybe I need to pull some conviction records and see if convictions are going up or down. But that convictions has nothing to do with the prosecutor's office. That's the judge and the juries, right? It's what you need to do is look at and analyze prosecutions. Are the amount of prosecutions going up, right? That's what you want to see versus dismissals and versus plea deals, right? So maybe I need to pull those records. But Eileen Burke is no better than Kim Fox. Little bit better, but not too much better, right? All right, where are we going to go here? Maybe we'll go this way, right? We'll keep going this way. How about that? Passing by the Bally's. The Bally's is right down the street. All right, this is some radio calls, right? Some crime chasing, right? We'll go back as
7389 Adam. 7389 Adam.
That way I don't have to talk to you.
Train number 7245 heading westbound from West Turn Blue Line.
Take event 08732. 08732.
Alright, take event number 08414.
383 Taylor.
91 boy.
08738.
08467. Username CDY, veering call for shots fired 7921 South Cautionary. Car stage 3, young male blacks with ski mask, black hoodie, black man, shooting outside a white four-door vehicle, unknown plate number. Car stage 2 is pulling up home on the way. You can see them through her ring camera, nothing further. Both is clear. 7354. 70. Can have a quality of light number at Howard here, and then a number for a black.
Shots fired 79th and Costner. 3 black males in ski masks.
08745, 08745, and 08749.
53, I'm sorry.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. PH1.
Alright, this is quality of life at Howard and Wells.
PH1, we are near from Midway.
On the road.
At be advised, zone 7 is looking for you guys. Guys, yeah, pulled over. At 51st and Michigan, 6th Street, David. Zone 7.
Smell weed out there.
Blue Acura hatchback, no plate.
7310 Adam. Can I get a number for red line and 95th, please?
733 Adam.
08460, 08460.
Stop at the Clark Station. Check the Clark Station stop.
Damon.
Yeah, that event number is 08757, 08757.
08466, 08466. 380, Big David. 83, David. For the bottom line. 08471, 08471. 733, boy. Are you saying 6-9 in the red line? Alright, take 08473, 08473. Georgia, parking Lake Blue Line check. Oh, okay, what Georgia is this? 7383? 08501, 08501.
Charlie.
87, Charlie.
Bid number 17902, traveling south on Ashland from 50th.
Charlie, take 08511, 08511. 7383, Frank.
Bid number 4, Jackson and Renner, please.
08514, 08514. 7391, we have a street stop, 63 in the red line, event, please. Take 08532, 08532. 3 Ida. Ida in the coming in? 3 Ida, can you give me a red line check at the Clarkson Division stop? Yeah, take 08535, 08535. 3215? Gas and iron, please. 10-4, 08547 if you need any event. Thank you. 8383 Charlie. 7383 Charlie. Number for the 69 red line. 08568, 08568. 7383 Henry. 383 Perfect. 08583, 08583. 389 boy. 7389. Blue line range. Name is Pulaski. 08619, 08619.
7389 Adam.
7389 Adam.
3330 heading to Blue Line, heading to Illinois Medical District.
08648, 08648. 211. 3211. Number for the highway. Simple. 738 Eddie. 738 Eddie. Line check at Roosevelt, please. 08656, 08656.
Houston 11 and Citywide, I got a person with a gun coming in at details to follow 4743 West Jackson. Male, black, red shirt, black pants, has a gun standing on the bus stop. He has a gun in his hand. Male is white complexion. It's still coming in as details. District 11 off 10.
733 boy.
Number for 79 and
08693, 08693.
7389 Adam.
7389 Adam.
Train number 7245 heading westbound from Western Blue Line.
Take event 08732, 08732. 383 Taylor. 7383 David. 435 Button. 08738, 08738. Marine 5. Yes, Grand Squad, man. Two numbers, one for the main branch, one for the Chicago Lock Suite.
Yo, white dude.
Alright, check 08745, 08745, and 08749. Thank you very much. You're welcome. PH1. PH1, we are clear above Midway. And be advised, Zone 7 is looking for you guys regarding a vehicle that was at 51st in Michigan, 263 Davis, Zone 7. And 4, we're going to switch over to Zone 7. Blue Acura hatchback, no plates, possibly stolen. 383 item. 7383 item. Just stop at the Clarkson Division. 08823, 08857, 08757. We have it.
We got a reckless driver with a couple minutes on it. 57 in Lakeshore Drive, southbound. Got a black four-door sedan, Volkswagen. Driver reckless going southbound from that location.
7387, Charlie.
08823, 7383 Frank.
Give me that number for Saxon Airlines,
We got
please.
a reckless driver with a couple minutes on it.
08833, 08833.
Got a black four-door sedan, Volkswagen. Driver recklessly going southbound from that location.
Frank.
7383 Frank.
Give me that number for Saxon Airlines, please.
08833, 08833.
Come on, Animal Boy. Can I get a number for transmission on the Pulaski Blue Line platform? Alright, take event number 08851, 08851.
7389.
Come on, Animal Boy. Can I get a number for transmission on the Pulaski Blue Line platform?
Alright, take event number 08851, 08851.
Alright, it's pretty quiet today, huh? Hey, man. Maybe we'll take a nap while we drive, and Marietta will wake me up in an hour or two. Make sure I don't crash, Marietta. You know what we should do? We should do remote driving. Maybe Tesla, Elon Musk, can invent something where the actual viewer on the TV can control the steering wheel. How about that one? That would be really cool. Kind of like they do now. You know, they do that in the operating room, the doctors. It's not really remote, but it's close to it. They have something called the Da Vinci machine. I think it's Da Vinci or something like that. There's a robot, and I don't know if it's remote or the guy that's there. There's a robot that operates on you now. They have them in these really expensive hospitals, and it makes really small cuts. It's really precise, and I don't even know, it might even cut with a laser in there, so it doesn't really hurt your skin. I don't know if it does or not. I don't know. But look up Da Vinci operating machine or whatever, and imagine, and I've read about this, you can have a doctor that really specializes in whatever it is, and I've heard they direct it, but I don't know if they actually do the operation, but it might. But that'd be cool. That
433 units and 4 citywide, getting a person with a gun at 95th and Stony, 95th and Stony at the Bank of America, caller station male in a blue Honda SUV, no front plate, Indiana, plastic gun at or no further. Zone 8 tissue, please.
See that? It's everywhere. Just laying on the sidewalk. I don't know. Cops don't do nothing about it. Just laying on the sidewalk. You seen it yesterday at the Green
433
Line.
units and 4 citywide, getting a person with a gun at 95th and Stony. 95th and Stony at the Bank of America. Caller states a male in a blue Honda SUV, no front plate, Indiana. Flashed a gun at her, no further.
I mean, you seen it. You seen the Metra cops. They didn't do none. The dude's nodding out, drunk, high, whatever he is. They didn't bother. You see that lady? She's right in the middle of the sidewalk. I don't even know what that is. What is that? You're just laying in the middle of a sidewalk. It's wild, man. That's crazy, and no one does nothing about it. It's like it's okay. It's weird. Like, when did that become okay, right? To lay in the middle of a sidewalk. It's strange. I guess, since we've had this mayor, right?
7383 Charlie. Number 469 red line. 08894.
Hey, guess where we're at? Marietta. We'll go around the block, all right? We're on Sedgwick. They just had a bunch of stuff over here I read. I might go in here. This is what I might do, and I've been talking to my wife, because you got to do a little more paperwork on some stuff. I'm working on a big project, and I keep telling you guys about these other projects, and I keep falling behind.
Unit 11 at Citywide. I got a person with a gun, 1120 South Francisco. Callers got off saying he said he was going to call saying that a bunch of people outside had guns. No other info or descriptions given. District 11 10.
This don't mean I don't like doing this. I like doing this, but I have some projects that I want to get done, and I might go back to my old ways now. So the really old way, before I did long format live feed, is I took short clips and posted them. Sometimes I did short lives, really short lives, and posted and moved on. So I might do that, and then I would be home doing scanner feeds like SubX.News used to do, right? I would do instantaneous. I would listen to my feeds, post it, and then if there was something big that came up, I went out and covered the crime, right? So I'm thinking I might go back to that format. So I might do like an hour, because we're already at an hour now, right? An hour or so live feeding, driving, talking. Maybe talk about what's going on, what happened. There you go, they're fixing the streets, right? And they're going to try to fix all these streets. They're going to do a lot of things, right? It's an election year. It is what it is. They always say pork barrel time, right? When it's election year, that's when you get that money, man. When I was in the union, we knew that. We knew the timing, and we would go get the money, whether it's for special programming or whatever it might be. So again, this is a programming note. I might be doing this, and that doesn't mean I won't go out and do crime still, right? Here, let me show you this. What do you guys think? I've been doing this one almost a year, right, Marianne? Oh, you think that's legal there? Look at that. Do you think it's legal to have a padlock on the door? Think it's legal to have a padlock on the door there? I don't know, man. I don't think... I'm sorry to say, I don't know about that one there. Let me just do a quick video, right? And then we're going to do the news, right? 5 o'clock news, right on time.
First pass his Save America Act, an election-related measure. At lunch with Republican lawmakers, the president said he was frustrated at yesterday's passing by Congress of a war powers resolution banning
padlock on an exit gate.
Iran. After the lunch, the president said it was a great meeting.
We like our leader. We like everybody.
Think that's good really there? I don't think it is. 5 o'clock, June
Louisiana
24th,
Senator Bill Cassidy indicates what sources to ABC News said
What's up, my brother?
That the meeting was tense, with he and Trump getting into a shouting match. Cassidy saying
a padlock on an exit gate. I don't think that looks right.
I don't know for sure. But the course of this is going the way that we were told.
Specifically?
You have not told the American people what's going on.
5 p.m., June 24th, 2026.
Our original objective
1365 North Hudson.
And I want to know what's going on.
Senate Majority Leader Thune and others tried to calm them all down. Cassidy says he makes no apologies, saying Trump was trying to bully him. Federal judge today barred President Trump from implementing a proof of citizenship requirement to vote and a demand that mail-in ballots be received by Election Day. Judge Denise Casper wrote that the Constitution does not grant the president any powers over elections. praising President Trump's ordering of military attacks in Iran. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte in the White House Oval Office.
This is the leader of the free world taking responsibility beyond the shores of the United States for the rest of the world. And this is what you did.
Trump criticized NATO members for their lack of support for the war. You're listening to ABC News.
They call this one Bill.
So they do the national, international news, and then now after this like quick break, they'll do a local news. Right? So we'll see what they talk about now, right?
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill. Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free.
Yeah, they keep that padlock on there. I don't think that's right. Look, every one of these gates is padlocked. You see that there? They all have padlocks on them. That's a padlock there. Every one of these has a padlock here, man. Let me show you guys. There, that's got a padlock, man. That ain't right. See that padlock there? That's a padlock. If you got to get out there, you can't get out that gate. That's a padlock there, man. You ain't supposed to. Just saying, you ain't supposed to have that damn padlock on there. Yeah, but still, if there's a fire, you have to get out. You remember the E2 nightclub disaster? Because you don't know what happens to the...
They've been fighting them for 30 years over
yeah,
there.
I'm
not going to unlock the gates. That's just something they don't do.
SubX.News, I've been videotaping this. I said, man, that's dangerous. Because you don't know what happens at that entrance if something happens. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, everyone has to run out of one entrance.
It's the E2 nightclub disaster. That ain't right.
They got to talk to the alderman or something about it. Because, like, literally, we've been talking about that for 20, 30 something years.
You just put in like in a school, the emergency ones. I get that they don't want people going in, but hey, that's not security or safety. All right, see you, my brother. SubX.News, man. See, people agree with me, right?
Southeast, there's a severe thunderstorm warning now for Boone and western parts of McHenry County. It's in effect until 5:45.
They're everywhere. Every gate is locked here. See that? Every one of them has a padlock on it.
And even out ahead
every one of them. See that there?
Some storms fire up.
He said they've been trying to fight it for 30 years, right?
McHenry County out ahead of this warning. There could be some hail.
What's up? I'm a news guy and I've been documenting those damn padlocks. They need to change those padlocks. That's dangerous.
Lake McHenry and Kane counties.
I've been reporting for like a year. I might have to call the fire marshal because that somebody says, oh, they can get out the main entrance, but if something happens there, how are you going to get out? You know, well, you remember E2 nightclub, right? They blocked the doors. And then all them people died. You know, they went to jail or something, those guys. Yeah, that ain't right. You ain't supposed to do that, man. That ain't right. All right, see you guys. SubX.News, all right? Be safe, be safe. I'm trying. See you guys. So there you go. See if people agree with you.
50 weeks, pay an extra $225 a year in tolls. Chicago City Clerk has formally launched her bid for a second four-year term. This is 8 months before Chicago's citywide election in February.
Anna Valencia's first re-election campaign video begins with her talking about her roots as the daughter of a working-class family from the Metro East area town of Granite City.
There are many times we lived paycheck to paycheck. Their values and work ethic still guide me today.
The video then features her talking about initiatives including the City Key ID program, Amnesty Month for past due fines and fees
they all
on
got
violations
padlocks.
and city stickers,
all these
and
gates
moves
have
designed
padlocks.
to make city government
They all
more
have
transparent.
padlocks.
I implemented electronic voting to allow Chicagoans to see the decisions their city council makes on their behalf in real time.
Former Mayor Rahm Emanuel appointed her in 2016 to take over as clerk when Susana Mendoza became state comptroller. She was then elected to full terms in 2019 and 2023 after falling short in a 2022 bid to succeed Jesse White as Illinois Secretary of State. We're at City Hall. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9. WBBM.
Political news in Evanston, Mayor Daniel Biss has less than 4 months left on the job. He says he plans to resign October 18th.
Mayor Biss made the announcement during his final State of the City address.
The purpose of that resignation is to be absolutely certain that it is early enough to trigger a special election that will occur next spring.
Under state guidelines, the special election would be April 6th and the primary February 23rd. That's dependent on the Evanston Mayor's office being vacant by October 19th, which is still 2 weeks before the general election for the 9th congressional seat Biss is running for. There's still some uncertainty about when candidates for mayor could legally start circulating their petitions. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Well, the latest talk about legalized video gambling terminals was cut short today in the city council chambers without a clear path for a proposed ban on the devices. Allies of Mayor Johnson are floating a plan to ban gaming machines in bars and restaurants in exchange for reopening talks aimed at increasing hiring at the Bally's Casino. Bally's Senior Vice President Christopher Jewett told members of the council committee that bringing video gambling into neighborhoods would mean less money for the city, fewer jobs, and would violate the terms of the city's agreement.
Had we known that within just a few years this body would reverse course and allow an alternative form of gaming that breaches the agreement, we would never agreed to the numerous commitments, all of which we've held up.
But opponents of the ban cast doubt on Bally's projections, saying the machines will bring needed revenue to the city's hospitality industry. The hearing abruptly adjourned after less than an hour of debate. Labor leaders and congressional members called for an end to the 800-worker lockout at the BP Whiting refinery.
The press conference was sometimes profane as members of the Congressional Labor Caucus gave it to BP.
They're on strike, so figure out what they want, make a deal, and get them back to work, right?
And we need to say, I'll just say...
They loot this store up quite often. This store gets looted like they do the... bum rush it, but I noticed there's no one hanging here. This is one of the cleaner jewel stores where they don't have nobody hanging in front. Every other jewel has people hanging there, and I don't know if it's because of the parking lot where they say this is private property. See that there? There's no one hanging here. It's pretty good clean jewels. So they must be tight on security here. But I know they've been looted. I can get you all the times they've been looted. There you go.
It's 5:08 now. It's time to check in on the roads.
I was just saying, I do live feeding. You got a pretty clean jewels. All the other jewels, they got problems. You get hit once in a while, but this is the cleanest one. So you're doing a great job. That one on 12th Street over there on Wabash. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, right? Be safe, SubX.News. There you go, there you go. We got to make some friends. We got to do some new newscasting here. You know what I mean? Jason, what's up, my brother? Yeah, that's a fire trap, right? The P2 nightclub disaster. Look it up. That's a death trap. They killed, I don't know how many people died in that one, Ms. Zidor. 20 or 30? They got trampled on because they locked all the doors. That's what they did. Yeah, P2 nightclub disaster. Look it up. Look it up. And then the other one was the county building. They locked the exit doors in the high-rise. That was another disaster. They had... there was the building right across from the Daily Center. It's the county building. And they locked... You could not get out of the stairway. So they had a fire. And as they... I think they went up instead of down, and they died in the stairway. That was another one. You can't have these locks on these doors. You can't say it's security. That's not... Security don't go override safety. It never does. I really love this. Here, let me show you. This is one of my most favorite graffitis. You want to see this one here? I love this graffiti. Check that one out. Is that a good graffiti there? Whenever I come into this area... That's the one I always take a picture. I always take a picture of that every time. You know who that is, right? Wile E. Coyote. Look at that. That's beautiful, isn't it? I love that one. There, see? And then Blessed Angels. The whole escape law came from the Blessed Angels disaster. Because they didn't have ways to escape. And then there was another one. There was a textile killing in New York. A bunch of girls died. But all those laws, the main law came out of the Blessed Angels fire, the death. That's the main law, and it kind of started the safety stuff, actually. It came from Chicago. A lot of these laws come from Chicago, as we had a lot of these industrial problems. And everybody read the book, The Jungle by Upton Sinclair, right? That book, it wasn't actually a book, it was what I do. He did series of articles, series of reports, and he would go into these factories like undercover, or somebody would give him news, and he would talk about what's happening in these factories all around here, in the hog butchers places, right, and the cattle butchers. down by where I live. I live in that area, right? The stockyards. And then he published a book, The Jungle. But he published them every, I don't know if it was weekly or daily or whatever it was, in the local newspapers and on his own. And then he put it together and then became a book, and that's the book we know, right? The Jungle. But that's the same thing. A lot of laws came out of that book. Workplace laws, right? That came out of that book. Yeah, so a lot of the laws and the safety stuff that we know today, it came out of, and it's unfortunate, disaster, right? When people pass away. And we shouldn't be going through a thing where people have to pass away to fix stuff. It's what I wrote today. If you read the article today, one of the main things that came out of here is, why don't they do nothing? Like that guy yesterday at the Metra, at the Green Line, Oak Park. Why didn't they take him to the hospital or something, or put him somewhere safe? He was not now. He was unsafe, man. What is that? You're a police officer, serve and protect. You failed that guy. Well, he's high, he's drunk. Well, yeah. One, there's a rule. It's illegal to be high or drunk on the CTA or on CTA property. There's a rule. Not drinking or getting high. Being drunk or high on CTA property is illegal. I know people take the CTA when they're high and drunk because they're coming home from parties, and I know that. But there's a rule against it. There's a rule against it. They didn't enforce that rule. Secondly, humanity. They were inhumane. Here was 4 cops, and they didn't take care of a guy. Yet we're paying their salaries. Oh, we're not from Metra. Yeah, those are Metra cops. We pay those guys. That's Metra. We pay Metra. That comes out of our taxes. So they didn't take care of a guy that was high. Well, what is they going to do? Well, put him somewhere where he's safe. I don't know, drunk tank, detox. Maybe you get a high place where you put people that are high. I don't know. Invent something. I don't know what the heck it is. But you had 4 cops watching a guy that was high, nodding out. Man, that ain't right. It ain't right. See, that's what I wrote about you. So people think that arrest that guy. That ain't what I wrote. If you look back, and some people might get really angry when I'm about to say, you might get really angry. And look, my position is, if you're illegal, you get deported. That's my position. My position early on the migrants, besides deportation, was why they on the street corner. You look at my early videos, really early videos on the migrants. I'm like, how come they're sitting on that street corner doing drugs and doing all kinds of crap? Why are they on a street corner, period? Why are the migrants allowed to be on a street corner? And I was like, that's what I started these videos with. And I'm like, yeah, that don't even make sense there. You come to this country to stand on a street corner? That don't even make sense. You remember, right? Yeah, I'm going to pull all my old videos. I repost them every so often, and I need to start doing that again, right? And say, look, see, people come on my page. I get hit by MAGA stuff, but I really get hit by the left wing because that's who's in charge of Chicago. And they don't like me because I know them. I know if I went into City Hall today, I bet you I know half the people in Brandon Johnson's office. If I walked into his office, I don't know everybody, but if I walked into his office, into his meeting, I would know half the people there, right? Because I used to work with them guys. And I'm quiet. I took a little pause there, and then that's what I said. Why are those migrants on the corner? So if you look at my early videos, I had even had ideas how to fix that. I wasn't, screw them, screw blah, 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 blah. I was like, yeah, first of all, why are they sitting there? And if they're getting paid by us, by taxpayers and welfare, then why aren't we getting something in return? Why didn't we put them to work to fix up the projects? Why didn't we tell them paint the L trains or pick up garbage or do something? Or even teach them English. No one was teaching them English. Teach them English. Teach them Americanism. Teach them Constitution. Again, if they were illegal and they're not supposed to be here, you deport them. But they're sitting on a street corner and they were doing crime. I got them doing lots of crimes. So, people mischaracterize you because one way or another or whatever. People have some weird brains. I don't care. I'm an old guy. I get that. But here's the point. It's like I always say about stuff. Well, why are they doing that? Why would somebody lie about something that we see together on the video? What do I always say about my live videos? What do I always say? Sal, Marietta, Holly, Barbara, Mizzy, Dor, Trina, Brian, Joe, Nick. Remember when we had Tom? He was from Britain. I had a dude from Britain. I hope he's okay. I should give him a call. I think I got a cell phone. Remember the guy from Britain? Tommy? He used to watch at night because I used to get up in the morning sun. I think he used to watch my late ones, the ones at like 11 and midnight. I hope he's okay. He was in a recovery program from heroin, I think. I should give him a call. I haven't talked to him in a long time, about 4 or 5 months. He came on about once a week. He loved my videos. The late night videos when I did the crime chasing. He goes, oh man, it's dangerous. And I was at shooting sites and all this stuff. And we talked. And that was when they had a lot of the migrant stuff happening in Europe. And I'm like, you guys having the same problems in Europe? Yeah, man, but the migrants are here. And he was talking on the live, right? It was pretty cool. But I guess what I'm saying here is this. Why do people twist what I do when all you have to do is turn off what I say? You can be listening to music right now. You don't need to be listening to me talking. Just watch the video. There. It's 5:17 p.m. Where are we at? This is, what? Elston or Clybourne? Look, there's no one here. There's no one here. There's cars behind me, but there's no cars here. There's nobody in these businesses. You want to see that one there? The subway? There's no people in there, right? There's no cabbies. Cabbies should be in here. That's the time. I show you the time. I show you the date. And this is what I do, right? You don't see no cars here. It's empty. They finally tore that place down. That was a Bed and Bath and Beyond, I think. They're tearing all this down here. Remember, we've been videotaping this for years. I got 2-3 videos about this. They're finally tearing it down. That was a very expensive outfitter here. I used to buy my off-roading stuff over here and camping stuff right in there. And they're finally tearing that stuff down. See? There you go. There's graffiti in there, right? This is Clybourne corridor, right? This is gentrified. This is uber gentrified area here. Now you got to think about this. That's brand new stuff. That's not 20 years old there. It might be 30 max. The Lincoln Yards is right over here. So why are they tearing something down that's that new? That's what you got to be asking you. Why are they tearing something down that's that new? That's a problem. That's a problem. Now what are they going to put there? Most likely they might put buildings or apartments there where people live, right? Why? Because they want to repopulate the city. I'm thinking about getting me a coffee, but I don't know if they have good coffee here. I'd probably stick to McDonald's. Is there a McDonald's up here somewhere? It used to be General Iron over here. They kicked them out with the 78. They collapsed. The 78's finances side. This is a steelworks over here, right? And I'm not doing TikTok today because I did a 4-hour video on TikTok and I can't get my video, so I'm not going to give them my content. If you ain't going to give me my content back where I can download it and upload it, then I'm not going to give you my content. I'm close to not doing stuff with Citizen. I like Citizen app because they stamp it and then they tell you what happens because they coordinate with the scanner feeds. But I'm almost tired of Citizen app too because I can't get my sound. There's a bunch of stuff over here. This was Finkel Steel and General Iron. They kicked them out because of the Lincoln Yards development here, and then the money ran out over here, right? So all you do is shut off what I'm talking about. You don't agree with what I'm talking about. That's fine with me. But look at the videos, right? Not everybody likes Brandon Johnson. They put a bunch of trees there. This was a General Iron over here, right? There you go. The bridge is out, right? This was working factories. This was 24/7 in this area. Finkel Steel used to be there. It was the last steel mill inside Chicago proper. Right here, they had you could watch them melting the steel right here. too much, and it's a bad economy. They'll be all right. In 50 years, this will be populated. You'll see. It's not that big of a deal. It's emptied out, right? Oh man, they ripped that open, and they're inside of there. See that there? They ripped those all. I've been. You guys remember I was underneath the bridge over there. We got videos of that, right? Right underneath there, right? This is Sterling Bay. This is Lincoln Yards. Multi-billion dollar development. They ran out of money. Man, they got some pretty wild graffiti here. Check that out, right? See that there? We're gonna take a few graffiti pictures. How about that? Right, we'll do a little graffiti stuff out here, right? Let me get my other camera. And we're just fooling around, doing some content, right? Well, there's graffiti underneath here. I'm not doing that today, so check that out. That's a pretty cool one there, huh? With the, see that there? I don't even know what you call that there. That's pretty wild there. You can't stand that, MF. Which one, Steve? You gotta tell me, because there's a lot of people out there. They got a lot of viewers. Who don't you like? Janulius? What's up? I don't know. Which one don't you like, Steve? Janulius? Pretty wild out here, huh? You got all kinds of people walking around here, huh? They're supposed to build a bridge here. This lady walks right behind my truck, man, with her headphones on. That's how people are, man. God, don't walk with headphones, man. That's my advice to you. That's pretty stupid. That's how you get jumped. When you're walking around, you walk around. Without headphones, so you can hear what's happening, right? Especially in the city, man. Oh, Johnson, yeah, he's an asshole. He's an asshole. He's a crook, man. He's used to steal. We watched him stealing at the union. He used to punch in and leave and go do his commissioner's job. He's a thief, man. He's a common thief, that guy. He stole. Guy, Joey McDermott filed a grievance against him. They fired him. Right? And then I started saying you're not supposed to spend union dues on politics, and they started writing me up, and then when they had an excuse to fire me, they fired me, right? That's how life goes, man. Now they're in power. They're in the mayor's office, right? Didn't you hear the lady from the commission, Human Rights Commission, that they wanted to water down the there was a lot of anti-Semitism here in Chicago, and she had her article. The report writer said you can't publish that. She goes, well, I'm a publisher. You can't tell me what to do or not to do. So you can't do that. And she quit. And people say, oh, I'm scared. I'm a cop. I want a job. I'm afraid. Well, she quit. I got fired. It's a lot of people like us, right? We uphold an idea that, yeah, we're not going to be told to do bullshit, right? There's too many people, though, that are broke. It's a bad economy. People can't go get a $100,000 job that easy, so, you know, they'll lick the boots of anybody, right? So that's the problem nowadays, right? They'll backstab you, man. There's a lot of backstabbers out there. You gotta be careful, man. I'm telling you, there's people that threaten me on my videos all the time. I mean, it's alright. It ain't the first time. Yeah, this is a multi-billion-dollar project here. Lincoln Yards, look it up. And now the union, when I was first in the union, working, right? This was our #1 target. Sterling Bay, Seabury, Lincoln Yards. Because we said they were taking the money from the community. This is the divestment stuff. And guess who now works? Kinda get it? Because they have billions of dollars. And Brandon gives them a TIF for $1 billion. Then they give him a bunch of money and support him in the election. That's how it works now. He's a turncoat. That's what I said. You have to be careful who you vote for, because if you're weak, if you're a weak-minded person, right? Weak. And I don't mean if you're a criminal. I don't mean if you're gay. I don't mean if you're trans or none of that stuff, or woman or whatever it is, or Hispanic or white or Irish or Italian or Indian. I don't mean none of that stuff. Weak-minded means you're weak, meaning you won't stand on a position, right? There's a lot of good people out there that'll stand on a position. And you might not even like them. There's some on the left that are good, because they'll sell you out. They'll sell out the community. What do I always say? Brandon should have fixed the certain parts of the city and show that he's a good leader, right? That's how he should have did it. If I would have been elected, or if I would have been his advisor that first 6 months or first year, I would say, Brandon, you need to identify 5 places in the city really messed up. Drugs, abandoned, no businesses, just crap. High crime areas. You identify 5 spots like that in the city of Chicago, and you pour extra resources in there. You fix those up, and you make them shining examples of what kind of a leader you are. Right? Isn't that a beautiful skyline there? You guys ever see the skyline from here? I used to be able to get in there. It's locked up now, so yeah, that's a beautiful skyline. Oh, well, William Kelly, he got banned by Lori Lightfoot. Everybody knows that, right? Yeah, William Kelly, yeah, he got banned by Lori Lightfoot, just like I'm banned now. You know that same thing happened to Kelly as just happened to me. They took his credentials away. Everybody knows that story? Happened to William Kelly. They took his credentials away. It's nothing new. Yeah. He couldn't go to meetings. They took, I don't know if they took his credentials or just didn't invite him or didn't let him in. I don't remember what it was. That was under Lori Lightfoot. So there's nothing difference between these people. They're all interchangeable. You kind of get, so it's going to be 5:30, and this is some of this local news. In case we missed something, right there, something came up. And then we'll maybe listen to some radio calls, right? Let's see what's going on. So this is the Lincoln Yards over here, right? It looks like it might be going again here. I don't know. But you see here, this is how they do these developments now. So you don't have to go mingle with the common folk. Everybody has a roof deck. See that there? That's a roof deck over there. The hideout is over there, by the way, across the river. You know the hideout lounge, right? There you go. Let's get going. This is in the news, right?
10-ounce cooked shrimp rings to Purdue boneless chicken thighs and more during Jewel Osco's big buy one, get one free event. Sale good on exact items only.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Now, there used to be a coffee shop.
Traffic and weather station, News Radio 1059 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
5:30, good evening. I'm Lisa Fielding. Here are the top stories on News Radio WBBM. A hearing on a proposal to ban video gaming terminals in Chicago bars and other businesses goes down in flames. 4 years after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, Governor Pritzker announces expanded reproductive rights protections in Illinois.
After complaints about data sharing, local prosecutors say they're trying to close a loophole for ICE to get information about court cases.
Plus, the U.S. and Iran continues to send mixed messages on whether nuclear inspectors will be able to look at Iranian sites. Sports Cubs win Game 1 of a split doubleheader with the Mets. Sox and Guardians still tied on the south side.
A mixed day on Wall Street as
AI fears and a drop in chip makers dragged down stocks. The Dow added 182 points. The Nasdaq was down 110. The S&P lost 7 points. I'm Monica Ricks at Bloomberg. Partly sunny, 70 degrees. The news continues now at 5:31. The effort by allies of Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson to ban video gambling terminals in the city appears uncertain. This is after a hearing today on a proposed ban abruptly adjourned.
This all started last year when Chicago aldermen looking for an alternative to the mayor's proposed corporate head tax passed a budget that included money from video gambling terminals in bars and restaurants. But the mayor and his allies on city council still raise concerns about how neighborhood gambling hurts the city's agreement with Bally's Casino.
We're not here to hurt our communities.
Westside Alderman Jason Irvin says he supports a ban on those terminals in exchange for launching new talks to get Bally's to increase hiring. Bally's Senior Vice President Christopher Jewett told aldermen video gambling would mean less money for the city and fewer jobs for Chicagoans.
We expect a reduction of more than 1,000 jobs due to VGTs.
But far south side Alderman Anthony Beal said video gambling terminals and casinos exist side by side in numerous Chicago suburbs.
Your numbers are speculative at best.
And he abruptly moved to adjourn the hearing, which passed. It's not clear when or whether the proposed ban might face a vote. We're at City Hall. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9. WBBM.
On this 4-year anniversary of the Supreme Court overruling Roe v. Wade, Governor J.B. Pritzker here in Illinois has announced new protections for reproductive health care. He explains one of the ways lawmakers are protecting reproductive rights.
I'm proud to be signing today the Reproductive Health Records Privacy Act, legislation that strengthens protections for patients' personal information by prohibiting sharing of abortion-related medical records with out-of-state healthcare providers without explicit patient consent.
The governor says the legislation also gives trained pharmacists the ability to prescribe both non-hormonal and emergency contraception to qualified patients across the state. Advocates for immigrants have been complaining for years about Cook County and how they shared data with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Now, local prosecutors say they're working on restricting that.
This stems from the state system that notifies crime victims when their alleged attackers are released from jail or moved. Immigration advocates claim ICE can learn about court hearings, personal information, and other data despite Illinois' sanctuary laws. The Sun-Times reports the nonprofit group A Just Futures Law found ICE's Chicago office ran more than 13,000 searches over a 6-month period that exploited that loophole. The paper says the Cook County State's Attorney's Office has been working with the vendor, Appriss Insights, to restrict data sharing since before Operation Midway Blitz. The current contract with the county expires in October. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Opioid overdose deaths in Chicago and suburban Cook County fell for a third straight year.
Overdose deaths declined by 42% in 2024 compared to 2022, according to the department. The report says of all U.S. counties, Cook County has seen the largest reduction in overdose deaths since the national peak of the crisis in 2023. Dr. Kiran Joshi, the county's public health COO, says it's encouraging. Overdose prevention and harm reduction strategies are making a difference, he says. Part of the decline, according to the report, is more widespread use of overdose antidote drugs. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Now to the latest on Iran at 5:35. It's unclear whether international weapons inspectors will be able to monitor.
So there you go. We always do this once in a while. How much you think that is there? We're on 2230 North Southport. How much you think that is? Anybody guess? Look at that house there. How much you think that house is right there, man? You think you can afford that house? Steve, what do you think? This is kind of gets you to where the city is going, right? That's the address there. See that there? How many seconds do I give you to check? Alrighty. We're going to do this and keep moving on. Ready there? There you go, Steve. Did you guess how much that house is? 2230 North Southport. How much do you think that is? You ready? Drum roll, please. Ready? There you go. 1.4 mil. There you go. You got that much money? What do you got to do to make 1.4 million a house? What would you have to do? There you go. There you go, right there. 1.4 million, 2230 North Southport. There you go. There you go. Who do you think does the harm reduction programs? What they just talked about. Who do you think gives Narcan and who do you think gives the harm reduction drugs, pipes, dope, and whatever other bullshit they just sit on it? So they're not talking about reducing drug use. They're talking about you don't OD. So they're allowing people to do drug use. They're just giving them like the murders, right? You know, every cop is now trained in what? Tourniquets and life-saving things. If you listen to this on the radio when the shootings happen, if you listen, that's why I want to go back to listening to the scanner, because I do listen to it, but I want to listen to it more. Right now I drive and move, but I used to just listen to the scanner for about 4 or 5 hours. They say tourniquet applied, and that's a cop. That's not EMS. So the point I'm trying to make here is what? Just like the harm reduction. They're not stopping drug use. They're giving you pills so you can do more drugs. They're not reducing shootings and murders. They're just stopping people from dying. That's what they're doing. So they're not fixing it. And then what happens is why we have these spikes, right? First of all, we had a spike because of the Floyd and the COVID. So when they say there's crime reduction in the last few years, that's a lie, because it's artificially high, right? So you got the baseline for all statistics. If you're looking at statistics, is 19 or 20. 2019, 2020, not 21. Not 21. It has to be 19 or 20. And even before that, most go back to 2015 as a baseline. 2015 is the base, because it gives you a 10-year span and you can see the trend line. So 2015 is the base, and if you look at 2015, it was pretty low, and then it went up after that, right? I don't know what the reason is. I haven't studied that. So when you look at that, then you know if is it truly they're doing something to help, or are they just doing it to continue. There you go. Look at James. He's like, hey, James, you got that much smack or what? James, you got that much money? So yours is more expensive, because on Redfin, I just had it said 1.4. They must have went up in value then, huh? Look at James. He's like, man, you got that much money, James? You ever buy hey, James, you ever buy a $1.762 million home? And that was a small one. That wasn't a mansion. I just frame, whatever, two-story brick house. That's all that was. These are probably more over here. These are condos over here, by the way. The Broken Barrel. What is that? I need to get me some coffee. That's where I'm heading to. I don't know what I'm going to get me. Smoked Wings Local Brews. 2254. Throw 2254 in from me. Throw that one in there. I think those are condos here. I bet you that's condos. I bet you there's 2 or 3 there, right? Throw that one in there. 2554 Southport. Throw that one in there. 2554. Throw that one in there. When I say 2554 North Southport, right?
09372. 09372.
2554 North Southport, Zillow. I think that's condos, that one. Yeah, that's broken up into condos. Zillow, red. 2554 North Southport. I always like coming up here, right?
7383.
Unknown, man. Oh, they got a $2,500 a month. Yeah, that's apartments or condos. It's broken up, that one. That one's broken up. So whatever. It is what it is. But you see, that's $2 million homes over here, man. Ain't none of us gonna afford that stuff. And then diversity, you know, you got the Lathrop homes around here, right? We're going up towards Wrigleyville, by the way. They got nice cafes here. Look at that. So yesterday we were on the west side. We're on Madison Avenue at this time, right? What did you see? Drug deals. You seen my guys that I was in jail with, right? Sleeping. I was locked up with them. They're doing drug deals right there. I know, you know, when I do those interviews, I'm gonna have to shut off everything. I can't have none of my videos on. I don't do that. When I talk to people like that, if they agree, then we'll be on camera live. But I don't like doing that because I have certain questions I want to ask, and I don't want them to be uncomfortable, right? So what I'll do is I'll turn off my cameras, and then I'll talk to them, right, about certain things, and then I'll say, you want to go on camera or not? And I sometimes say, let's not go on camera, because I don't want them to say things that are incriminating, because I don't want to be blamed for the, you know, because my videos get watched. You know, people watch my stuff. So where do we want to go on Lincoln or not? Let's go see what's going on Lincoln Avenue. What do I always say? How do you tell if a business is viable? Look at all of this parking that's empty. Right? We're at Lincoln Avenue, right? See that there? We're at Lincoln and what? We just got off of Lincoln. We're on Lincoln north from Southport, right? There you go.
7389.
SubX.News live on the spot report. We're over here on Lincoln Avenue. We're going north from Southport, so we're going northbound on Lincoln. Look at this. Look at this. This was the middle of gentrification. This in Lakeview at one time in the 80s. This was hyper gentrification. I think that was the Army surplus store there, wasn't it, there at one time? I think that was Army surplus. Wasn't that the Army surplus there at one time there? So look at this. What do I always say about what people say about the economy? Remember, the first word in our broadcast is economy. We look at the economy first. And crime and migrants are part of that. But the first word of our broadcast is Chicago economy. Now what you look at here, you see no cars here. No cars in the parking spaces. There used to be a bookstore here, I think. Wasn't there at one time? Wasn't there a bookstore around here? I don't remember. I thought there was a bookstore around here, too. I think right there, wasn't it? I think there was a bookstore right there, wasn't it? I'm not talking about Bookman's. That's on Halsted. But that was a bookstore, I believe, right here, wasn't it? I thought that was right there. I thought that was a bookstore at one time. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I used to hang here a lot, too. So what you got to look at is the empty parking spaces. So two things show that. One, that means there's no traffic in and out of the stores. Secondly, there's no one living here, and there's apartments all around here. So that's a problem, right? And that's what you can blame either on the parking meter deal, but I more blame it on the economy, right? Bad policies by people that are running our city. And there's no way that you can run a city. Think about it. We made a deal with the parking meters, and now we don't pay it, right? Because look, there's empty spaces everywhere. Don't you see that there? There's empty spaces here. Look, this is what? It's 50% empty, maybe more. Just look at it. You guys, I'm live feeding on Facebook, and I'm videotaping this too. Look in front of you. You see empty spaces. Look at all those empty spaces there. None of those. Look at it. It's empty. It's empty. You can't say anything else. And what's this problem? Is this a crime problem up here? I don't know if it is. I don't think it is. There might be some crime up here. The problem up here most likely is expense. Rents are high, fees are high, bureaucracy is a nightmare probably. To run a store here might be what, 20, 30, 40,000 a month, maybe depending on how many square feet you have here, right? And that's the problem. Look, all these stores are empty, parking lots are empty, parking spaces are empty. It's 5:44 p.m. June 24th. There you go. And we just got up to Belmont. So we went from Southport up to Belmont. There you go. SubX.News. That's the economy. Pretty bad. SubX.News live. It's the economy, stupid. 5:45 p.m. June 24th, 2026. Northbound on Lincoln Avenue from Southport to Belmont. I mean, I don't know what else to say. There you go. So James, think about it. You need to have a job just to pay the taxes. 22 grand. Imagine if you're retired. You worked all your life. You've been a schlub. You did all the thing that you needed to do. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that, but you know what I mean. You weren't like Kugler, starting trouble all the time, doing all of this. You You just did what you needed to do, and you did it. I'm not saying I'm a bad guy, but I do other things, right? I push the buttons sometimes. Let's say you're like, I don't want no trouble in my life, whatever. I'm gonna pay my bills, work hard, and do it. And then you own a house here, and now your taxes just go up to $22,000, right? That's just your taxes. That ain't your other bills. That ain't your mortgage. That ain't nothing there, right? That ain't your roof if it goes bad or whatever it is, right? Where are we at now? This is Ashland, right? We should have went that way, right on Lincoln. And we'll go on Ashland a little bit. This is the Whole Foods over here. I should go up on the roof, see if we can see a sunset, right? Yeah, maybe I should check if we can get on the roof here. Maybe we can do a sunset from here one day. What about that? How about that? Let's see, do they got a parking garage here? Yeah, they do. Na Marietta, we might have another sunset video. They usually have do they have rooftop decks or not? Does this one have a rooftop or not? Let's see. Let's see. Lower level parking. Oh no, it goes down here. This one goes down. It don't go up. Alright. So now we know, right? So we won't do it. We can't do a sunset video from here, right? We gotta find another spot, right? This is Whole Foods, right? There we go. Again, we do other things, and like I say, I keep saying this. That's why I'm going back to my the roots. Like, people think I do this thing for whatever. Can you go up over there? Do they have a roof deck over there or not? Let's check this. Is this a roof deck over here? No, it's not. It's not a roof deck. Alright, let's get out of here, right? We're gonna go keep going north today. Yeah, Whole Foods. I was into Whole Foods. That's all we used to buy at one time. Then it got expensive with the kids. And then, I'll be honest, we used to go to the one, our Whole Foods was the one over by Canal Street there. That was our Whole Foods. We used to go there once a week. Oh, I used to buy the sushi there. I would buy the buffet there. We'd buy the baby stuff. We even, I think when we were doing baby formula still at the time, yeah, we used to go there all the time. You know what I loved? Then Whole Foods we used to go to by Schaumburg, too. We used to eat at the cafeterias all the time. They had Homer's milkshakes at the one out there in Schaumburg. The pizza, the kids loved the pizza in that one. Yeah, we used to do Whole Foods all the time. There you go, man. You want to see this? We're at what? Lincoln, Belmont, and Ashland, right? There you go. It's empty. See that there? That storefront's empty. We're by the Green Mill soon, right? Where's the Green Mill around? Or is it a little north of here, right?
7387 Ave.
Now you understand why they do these bike things, because there isn't enough traffic. So when you do a bike lane or do this turnaround or this weird thing they did in Lincoln Park, it creates traffic jams where there isn't. You see this, there's no traffic here. It's 5:49 p.m. Look, we're going north again on Lincoln from Belmont. There's no traffic. Now there's a little more cars here because there's a gym here. Right there, you see that big gym here? I don't know what that gym is called there. Export. So there's a lot of cars here, right? It's a little more crowded over here, but you seen that section over there? That was empty. Is this Sheffield or what? Where are we at? We're at school. That's Marshfield there. It's a little more busier, but then you see some empty spaces there. You see some empty spaces there. I think that was busy over there because of the gym. I'm still looking for a coffee over here. I'm going to give me a coffee over here somewhere. Oh, there's the Dunkin' Donuts right over here, right? Isn't it? I think I missed it. Oh, there's a Star. I don't like Starbucks. I don't shop Starbucks. Only unless I have to. I haven't shopped Starbucks for over 10 years. Only once in a while if I'm in a place and there's no other coffee.
09509
Yeah, I don't do Starbucks. Nope. It's one of those things. Yeah, I'm gonna pick some place around here. I'm gonna figure it out, right? And then you have these bike lane things. They should switch. This is so dangerous here. It's unbelievable. The bike lane always should be on the inside, never here next to the moving car. That's how the guy died in Bridgeport, right? I'm looking for a coffee home. That's what I'm looking for right now. All right, let's do some radio calls. How about that, right? We're by Wrigley Field. Everybody knows where we're at, right? This is Wrigley. We're in Wrigleyville now, I think. I used to do jobs out here in the old days. When this was gentrifying, we did work out here. I might have been responsible for some of that. And we were making money. Oh, well. Money is money.
Blue line at Belmont is 09232 09230. 7383, go ahead.
Hey, number for the Roosevelt platform check.
Burrito House. I used to eat burritos there a lot.
09172.
Alright. Is there a McDonald's here or do I get a Dunkin' Donuts?
We have a theft in progress at 5036 South Cottage, 5036 South Cottage at Walgreens. They got 5 young males wearing black ski masks with backpacks inside ceiling. No further.
It's looting, it ain't stealing.
7, District 2, clear.
Step by one more.
Why don't you give me a medium coffee? I ain't getting that one. That jacked me up that last time, the Dubai coffee. The shake or whatever it was. Just give me a regular coffee, medium.
Alright, take 09223, 09223. Next one.
How you doing, my brother? Good?
Check in parts of the stuff. 09227, 09227. 7388. 7388. Or can I get
Units and 2 in the citywide, we have a theft in progress at 5036 South Cottage, 5036 South Cottage at Walgreens. They got 5 young males wearing black ski masks with backpacks inside ceiling, no further. Zone 7, District 2, clear.
You just heard it. 50th and Cottage. Five black males with ski masks. Stealing from the store, right?
That's 7383 Frank coming in.
See, if I would be home doing this, I'd be typing this, right?
I need a number for Jackson and Red Line.
5 black males stealing from the Walgreens, 50th and Cottage.
7383 Ida. 7383 Ida. Can I get a check if parts of the stuff? 09227.
In ski masks.
7388.
50th, right?
7388. Sir, can I get an event number for a Blue Line Belmont Avenue check?
Cottage or Stony?
Blue Line at Belmont is
Cottage or Stony?
Units and 2 in the citywide, we have a theft in progress at 5036 South Cottage, 5036 South Cottage at Walgreens. They got 5 young males wearing black ski masks with backpacks inside ceiling, no further. Zone 7, District 2, clear.
Step by one moment. Is that 7383 Frank coming in first?
There you go, coffee time, yeah. Jack me up.
Alright, take 09223, 09223. And next one? 7383 Ida. 7383 Ida. Can I get a check if parts of the stuff?
Good. The picture is good today, ain't it? It's like, why do they... You know, I wasn't in downtown today. Maybe that's the reason. I left downtown right away, Ms. Zedor. Remember yesterday, we had bad reception.
Can I get an event number for a Blue Line Belmont Avenue check?
Blue Line Belmont, that's up here, ain't it? Oh, maybe we'll go see the drug addicts at, I know where we're gonna go. We're gonna go see some drug addicts. We'll go see some white drug addicts over by Jefferson Park. You guys wanna see some white dopers?
1449 South Colon, 1449 South Colon, 3 male black.
Sounds like, yeah. Hey, sounds like, yeah, let's go see some of those white drug addicts. I love you, Sal. They hang in that tunnel over there between them. It goes, I think it goes above the highway in the back by the Metra tracks over there. Yeah. A lot of people have died over there, man. At least, I think that's the highest overdose area over there. But you know, overdoses are down because we're giving them Narcan. Whatever. Alright, let's drink some coffee and let's get jacked up. What do you guys say? For the second, well, it's 6 o'clock, man. We've been running pretty good. Sounds like. Where did the hookers hang here, Sal, on the north side? Somewhere on the, maybe up by Argyle? You want to go up by Argyle? I know there's some hookers up by Howard, right? They used to be by all the migrant shelters, the hookers. I don't know the north side that good. I lived on Belmont and Sheffield for a little while. I knew this area. I was in Bucktown too. So I knew some things over there. I shall not say anything else. I do not want to incriminate myself.
Take 09276, 09276.
We'll keep going north on Lincoln. How about that? No cars, right? No cars.
That's CH1.
And you can say, it's late in the day, blah, blah, blah. But if a city is vibrant, you'd have this path. And we do different things, Sal. And it's gonna rain tonight. Oh shit, I gotta call my kid up and tell him to close the hatch. Yeah, you reminded me, Sal, thanks. I gotta call my kid up. My hatch is open. My roof hatch. Just give me a second here, I gotta call my kid up.
09570, 09570.
When it rains in the house, I'll be in trouble. It's gonna rain bad too. Oh man, come on, bro. Hey Al. Man, dude, you need to answer the phone, my brother. My kid. Yeah, can you guys make sure that hatch is closed? I don't know if it is. It's going to rain bad tonight. Alright, I'm going to call everybody else.
09577, 09577.
I'm calling my kids here, man. Let's see here. I got
7353. That's 7353. 09580.
Hey, what's up?
09580.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't mean to call you at work, but if you get back, double check that hatch. I called Al because I think he's got a day off. But yeah, if the hatch is open, close it because it's gonna rain tonight. All right. Did I take the what? Oh, yeah, I didn't do that yet. Thanks. Alrighty, thanks. Rather than just call everybody. Alright, good idea. Thank you. Thanks for the advice. Appreciate it. You be safe, alright? Be safe. Bye-bye. So he tells me I gotta text the group chat. You know, these kids know more than I do. And we're getting there, bro. There you go. Where's Sal at? There you go, man. There's a white doper there, Sal. See that one? There you go. There's one. That guy is dedicated to you, Sal. A white doper.
7383 Joy.
Whoever's home, do me a favor. Close the hatch. It's gonna rain.
Take you in at 09589, 09589.
Whoever's home, do me a favor. Close the hatch. It's gonna rain.
Joy. 7383 Joy.
We're still on Lincoln, right, Sal?
09589.
Alright, 5:59. Guess what time it is? News time. You see how we do it? And then we're going to check in with the news, then we'll talk a little bit, whatever, right? Alright, let's see what the news got to say. Remember, this is the national news now, right?
Of that. Now, despite that, we're doing well with housing.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Trump's petty refusal to sign our bipartisan bill shows how reluctant he is to do anything that would help the American people.
Now, the housing bill passed in Congress with a veto-proof majority and will become law without the president's signature in 10 days. President Trump visiting senators on Capitol Hill today turned into a shouting match. The president miffed about 4 Republicans who broke ranks to vote for a war powers resolution on Iran. Senator Bill Cassidy was among them.
09602.
Raised his voice. I lost my temper.
7330 Adam.
That's not appropriate.
7330
It's
Adam.
Irishman.
Can you pose a question for that number for quality of life issues? I need a separate number for
The Justice Department announcing one of its biggest healthcare fraud crackdowns ever. More than 450 people, $6 billion in alleged scams.
In one case, a nurse practitioner allegedly ran a $900 million scheme billing Medicare for unnecessary skin grafts. Officials say she took that money and bought an $800,000 necklace, a Ferrari, and a luxury vacation. The FBI also announced 2 more suspects on its most wanted fraudsters list, allegedly connected to nearly $700 million in medical testing schemes.
ABC's Karen Wall. A tsunami warning activated this past hour in the southern Caribbean after a massive 7.1 earthquake near the coast of Venezuela. You're listening to ABC News.
I can't raise my arms, I can't climb stairs, I can't kneel down. That means I can't play with the kids or grandkids, golf with my friends, get through a workday without exhausting pain. Cisco Porto here. If that sounds like you, I'm here to tell you something you can do. You can contact QC Kinetics. We hope you're talking about Dr. Porto and the medical team at QC Kinetics. So many people have gone through their game-changing regenerative treatments done right in the office. No surgery, no downtime, just inflammation, calming down, pain backing off. It sounds wonderful, doesn't it? I love hearing from you how QC Kinetics helped you dig out from under that long list of can'ts and into your best life. The consultation is absolutely free. You have nothing to lose except that pain. They even have weekend appointments. Call today. Get yours set up. 312-697-1119. 312-697-1119. 312-697-1119.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station.
I want to go on Lincoln, so I'm sorry I turned the wrong road.
WBNNewsRadio.com.
And the time now is 6:03 on Wednesday, June 24th, 2026. Good evening. I'm
Now
Glenn
it's the
Marshall.
local news.
We're sitting at 69 degrees here in Chicago. It's partly sunny, but heads up, we have a severe thunderstorm warning until 6:45 today. We're going to talk more about what's happening with this weather because it could be a wild night. Right now, severe thunderstorms could rattle windows and flood yards across Chicagoland this evening. Here with more on what we can expect from this system is AccuWeather senior meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Yeah, Glenn, we've been watching a cluster of some strong thunderstorms making its way through portions of especially southern McHenry County. Brought some pretty sizable hail to the Algonquin area. That's still raining pretty hard. With that cells, it's starting to make its way into the northwestern part of Cook County. So we still have a severe thunderstorm warning until 6:30 for northeastern DeKalb County, northern Kane, and southeastern McHenry County. And now a new severe thunderstorm warning is out for northwestern parts of Cook County and the extreme southwestern corner of Lake County. Again, this is for a cluster of storms between Algonquin and Carpentersville, heading toward South Barrington as this moves off toward the east and southeast. The potential for potentially golf ball-sized hail with this storm, in addition to some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and some very heavy rain. Also watching some storms farther north through Lake County, producing a lot of rain. But they're warning off for those. We'll continue to watch this severe thunderstorm watch out for this area until 10 o'clock this evening. Thompson is Radio 105 by WBBM.
Thanks a lot, Brian. Of course, we're going to check in with that AccuWeather 5-day forecast at 6:15. But right now, our top story on the 4-year anniversary of the Supreme Court overruling Roe versus Wade. Governor J.B. Pritzker has announced new protections for reproductive health care in Illinois. WBBM's Andy Dane has the story.
Reproductive freedom is worth fighting for. The State Department of Public Health expanding a 2023 order gives trained pharmacists the ability to prescribe both non-hormonal and emergency contraception to qualified patients across Illinois. Dr. Samir Vora is director of IDPH.
Improving access to contraception at local pharmacies is an important part of removing barriers to care.
Look at that, there's all the parking. You see all the parking empty?
In their communities without a separate
all the parking empty?
Pritzker says new legislation also strengthens medical record privacy and prohibits the
should have got a Cafe Bistro there, right in there.
Healthcare records exist to treat patients, not surveil. As a result of Illinois,
See, Julius Mine was right here. It was a really good coffee shop.
reproductive rights and safeguarding
You guys want to go see Wrigley Field? I'll go over there.
WBBM.
We'll go to Wrigley Field.
The person in charge of Chicago's city office that handles everything from selling vehicle stickers to issuing business licenses says she wants 4 more years in that job. WBBM political editor Jeff Buckles reports from City Hall.
I'm City Clerk Anna Valencia, and I'm running for re-election.
Anna Valencia's first re-election campaign video is now online. In it, the native of the Metro East community of Granite City is seen talking to people all over Chicago and touting changes in the office that she says are designed to ease burdens on people.
When you're struggling to make ends meet, choices get tougher. And that's why I waived fines and fees on city stickers for Amnesty Month.
She also pointed to the implementation of electronic voting during city council meetings as a way to improve transparency. Anna Valencia is 41 years old and a longtime Democratic Party campaign and policy advisor. She was running the city's lobbying office in 2016 when former Mayor Rahm Emanuel appointed her to fill the remaining term of
So an insider. She's no different. She's an
Valencia ran
insider.
for Secretary of State in 2022, but lost to Alexei Janulius. We're at City Hall. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
And another batch of tickets to the Obama Presidential Center will be released soon.
Right now, tickets to the Obama Presidential Center's museum are sold out for the next few months. But the Obama Foundation says tickets for September 2026 through January 2027 will be released next month. Tickets will become available to the public on July 8th, while founding members of the Obama Foundation will be able to buy tickets a week earlier on July 1st. The center's museum tower is the only area on campus where visitors need tickets. They cost $30 with a $4 discount for Illinois residents. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
And we're approaching 608. Heads up, there's a crash on the eastbound side of the I-80 with traffic and weather together on the 8s. Here's Abby Ryan.
Oh, right now, Glenn, if you're on the I-80 headed on the eastbound side, watch out for this problem. First off, it is jammed 355 to LaGrange. Earlier, cleanup crash in a lane. See it, call us, tell us which lane is blocked. WBBM Mercedes-Benz of Hoffman Estates traffic tip line is 855-780 Road. For the meantime, though, you can take US 30 or US 6 as alternates instead. Westbound I-80 heavy from I-55 to Hobart. 8094 westbound slows from Burr to Kennedy Avenue. Eastbound
so you don't have to be on the ground.
Eastbound jammed US 20 to before the Michigan State line. Emergency vehicles are blocking the 2 right lanes. This is cleanup of a car hauler that was on fire. You can consider using US 20 instead as an alternate. Metra Union Pacific Northwest Line train stopped near Barrington with weather-related conditions, so keep that in mind.
The guy laying on the alley there.
27-minute ride, outbound 17, Kennedy outbound. You've got 25 to Montrose, 43 to the airport, inbound 50, O'Hare to downtown, heading from Harlem, past the Wintrust Maryland North Avenue over to Ogden. A 50-minute ride from the airport, 25 coming in from the Edens Junction. I-190 eastbound, heavy from Bessie Coleman to 294. Eisenhower out, 38 to Manheim, 58 to I-90, inbound an hour and 2 I-90 in. If you're on the outbound side of the Stevenson, 44 to 294, an hour out, 355, 30 for getting off at Cicero, inbound 45, 355 on in. I-55 in the northbound lockout, heavy 53 to 355.
That guy was laying on the ground there. He was laying in the middle of the alley there, right? Whatever.
Next report from
that guy right there. He was right in the middle of the alley right there.
Thanks a lot, Abby. We will see some strong showers and thunderstorms coming in this evening.
I think he's drunk. That guy is drunk.
But tomorrow we'll have a high of 81 degrees with sunshine and a spotty shower in some places with a low of 59 degrees tomorrow night. It's currently 69 degrees at O'Hare, 69 at Midway, and 65 at the lakefront. The time now is 16. Discharges after multiple attempted to the apartment complex at Peloton.
reported to police that between June 5th and 17th, they saw a man messing with windows on ground floor units and attempting to get into the apartments late at night and early in the morning. Hernandez Mendoza is charged with attempted criminal trespass to a residence, 1 count of criminal damage to property, and 5 counts of disorderly conduct. He's due back in court.
I hit the wrong button there.
Houston, even Jesse Jones, well stepped foot in the Genesis Center, which was once a major city.
That guy, I don't know what he's doing there, man. He's all messed up,
man. Moving ahead to demolish the complex, clearing the once proud downtown.
097.
Just walk around and whatever, man. Maybe it looks like that's his house there, man. He's talking to the door right there.
Decline, the complex closed in 2020.
See that guy right there? He's talking to the door, man.
Broader effort to reshape downtown. Johnson Richards, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Just in time for the 4th of July, a Metra designer. No, he's talking to the car. There ain't nobody in the car. He's talking to the car.
America's 250th birthday. Now, this locomotive is painted red, white, and blue.
Yeah,
and 13. Lines on both sides with the America 250 logo in the middle, so onlookers.
73.
He was laying in the middle of the alley. That's dangerous, man. You get run over and stuff. At night, you're laying in the at night. There's a car that's coming right through the alley right there. I mean, that's dangerous. You don't lay in an alley, man. That's how you can die, man. There's a car behind me. Let me go over there. He's fighting or something. He's doing some weird shit. That guy right there. He's not high on trank or nothing like that. You good, brother? You okay? You alright? You were laying in the alley over there. You alright? Alright, take it easy, my brother, okay? I don't know what they say. He's talking to the door and walking around. He's doing something. Yeah, that dude's drunk, I think, man. Unless he's crazy or something, I don't know what. But he was laying on the... as I drove by, he's laying straight on the side. Imagine if it's dark, man. You're going to get run over. You're going to die. See, that ain't right, man. See, that's what I... Remember what I was talking about last night at the CTA Green Line? Oh, it's funny. They're laughing, and they tell me, oh, go take care of your blinkers. Dude, when are you going to take care of that guy? Same thing with that guy. He's laying in an alley. It's right about to be dark. That's unsafe, man. Where am I? Am I on we're too far. The Cubs Park is south of here. Alrighty, let's go back on Lincoln Avenue. This used to be a fish joint right here, didn't it? Let's see, let's go this way. Alright, that was a fish joint there, wasn't it? Yeah, that was a fish joint right there. There you go, man. There's somebody living right there. See, there's all kinds of stuff. I haven't been here in a long time. There you go. You got tent cities up here, right? Alright, where's my other camera here? Oh, 214. Yeah, that's a tent city right there. That's why I haven't been here in a long... One time I took this all the way up on underneath the train tracks. But you see, you gotta come and see stuff, right? You can't just do the same thing every day. One, it gets boring. Second, you gotta see what's happening in other places, right? Where are we at? What street is that? I don't even know where the hell I'm at. Who knows where I'm at? I don't even know where I'm at. What street is that? That was Metra. Oh man, there's a stolen car right there. What do you guys think? Is this a stolen car here or what? It looks like it. Oh yeah, that's one of those CRVs, man. That's one of those, the dump cars. Oh man, I can't go that way. This is what we're gonna do here. How about we do? We go like this, right? I gotta check out where I'm at. I'm glad I didn't go there. That's how I wrecked my van once. Oh man, I almost hit that car. I gotta be careful. I can see this car. Yes, it's here. Oh yeah, that's a one of those they call it. I don't know what they call them, trap cars or what do they call them? It's one of those cars where they use for crimes. They leave them in neighborhoods, right? That's it, right? I don't know what that guy's doing over there. Oh, I was gonna find out where I'm at. We're at Montrose and the Ravens. We're at Montrose and Wolcott, right? There we go. SubX.News on the spot reporting. We're at Montrose in the alley between Wolcott and Ravens. We see that there? What do you think? You think that car is stolen? I think it's stolen. It's got a busted out window. It's got out-of-state plates. Absolutely it's stolen. Those are the ones they steal, by the way. Those kinds, right? There you go. Strange, right? It's parking. It says, no parking any time. You'll be towed, but it's just sitting there. See that there? That looks a little strange, right? There's the time. 6:15. But the other thing that caught my eye over here is this. You got a homeless encampment over here. See that there? So the homeless issue, the drug issue, the vagrancy issue, it's all over the city. We just seen a guy laying in the alley right down the street. He was drunk. And it's getting dark, man. You can't be laying in the alley. See that there? There you go, man. You got a whole encampment over here on the north side of Chicago. You see that there? You got a little lounge chair there. Right? And there you go, man. So the issue is everywhere in every neighborhood. Don't think it ain't gonna affect you. It does, and it will. It's everywhere and in every neighborhood, right? See that, guys? I haven't been up here in a long time. There's a bunch of metal there. There's some good metal there. But I don't need that. If I was doing metal work, I used to do metal work in the old days. That's a good box of metal. It's bent. See that there? I don't know what that is. See that? It's nice bent, and it's some of it's welded. That's nice stuff there, but I ain't got use for that, and I ain't got the place for that. I'm cleaning out my place. So let's keep moving, all right? Let's hear some radio calls. How about that?
Frequency mode.
Man, you got all kinds of stuff out here, right? Stolen cars in tent cities up here on the north side, underneath the L tracks. 6:15 p.m., June 24th, 2026. That was in a tent city. It's more of an encampment, right? Tent encampment. Encampment. We want to correct our report. We don't want to be saying that we're exaggerating. Oh, man. It's gonna rain. Man, when I don't want it to talk, it keeps talking. Train's up there, right?
Can we get a bit number 55th Red Line?
09831, 09831.
Sorry, 84
7384 Frank.
Frank. Can you stop me at 1 on line, please?
All right, keep moving. Let's go.
Alright, take your 09833.
I better drink my coffee, eh?
Sir, ready? 73880.
I don't know if I've ever been underneath. I think I was under the tracks over there. The ones that go to the Target. There's ones that go underneath the Target store over here. There's a hamburger joint here I've been wanting to try out. I think they're expensive. Oh man, look at that. That's a fancy machine.
Alright, take 09836, 09836.
Look at that. That's is that a mixer or what that is? Yeah, that looks like some kind of a mixer. See that there? It mixes and then you dump it maybe. That's an expensive machine there, huh? That's an old factory there, huh? You find some of these places. There's some people that don't give up living in Chicago. The rough ones, the roughnecks we call them. Yeah, there's another word using roughnecks, but I'm not gonna use it. But yeah. The city is a great city. There's some cool people here, man. Look at that. They got, oh, that's a cool spot. Whatever that. Oh, that's a gym there. Check that out. That's pretty cool. I don't remember being up here. This is a nice spot. I should drive over there, right? See that there? It's pretty cool, ain't it? Now we're underneath the L track. I think this is, I don't know what this is up here. If this is the brown line or the real man. There's a bunch of, if you were into plumbing, you can reuse that stuff. See that there? You can clean it out. There's a lot of cool stuff up here, man. Alright, let's go see what this is all about here, huh? SubX.News, sub. We're sub, right? Subterranean, baby. There we go. Under the tracks. That's a sub, man. We're always doing the things that others don't do. Because they're scared, you can't do it, or it's dangerous. Either way. Sometimes we gotta do things that we gotta see what's going on, right? Like check out what's over here. That's a pretty cool spot there, man. Now we've been up here before. I told you the story about the one teacher when I lost my job at the union. It was over here. I was from this school. I don't know if it was in back of me or not. He worked up here. I wanted to get rid of him because he was gay. It was alright. I liked the guy. He sang at the Metropolitan Opera. He used to be from New York. I like the guy. He's a pretty cool dude. Alright, let's see what's up here.
Henry, go ahead.
Get a event for quality.
Pretty cool, ain't it? Let's see how far we can get here, huh? Oh, man, looks like there's a fence over there. I don't think we're gonna get through that one over there. See that there? Pretty wild, huh? I've never been. I don't remember that building ever. It's pretty wild here. Pretty cool. Look at that building, right? Imagine living there. It reminds you of down on King Drive down there on 61st and King. That's what it reminds me of. But there's all kinds of buildings. I used to live next to the L tracks by the big theater. Barry and Wilton. That's where I used to live. Barry and Wilton. They don't exist anymore. The Illinois Masonic took that all over. It's all Masonic.
09877.
CTA authorized property. There you go, man. You can't get through there. That's shut down. That's pretty wild there, huh? Pretty cool. I wonder how they regulate the parking here, right? Citywide Tillman. Oh, they might live there. That apartment building. That's an apartment building, right? It's a nice place, man. They got a brick wall there for a yard. Look at that. See that? That's old school Chicago. They got a brick wall, man. They ain't got steel or wood. They got brick, man. You ain't getting in there. A brick wall is like a castle. Now, you ain't messing with that. I don't even know what neighborhood I'm in right now. I can't tell you. Ravenswood, maybe? That's pretty cool up here, man. Let's keep moving. I've been up in this area. It splits. I think the train splits or something up here. I don't know what it does. There's a train split. Yeah, there's a Metra track. The Metra track runs along Ravenswood there. Right? That's the Metra track over there. It's one way to both ways. We're going to keep going straight here. We're going to try to go over underneath the tracks over there, right? We're going to keep moving over there. We've been on that side over here somewhere. There's a whole bunch of stuff we've seen over here earlier. The migrants were up here. We can actually check. We should have checked the migrants over at Montrose. I don't even know if they're still there. You know, the migrants were over at the... Well, there's a Maserati, man. These guys got money. There's a... See that car there? That's an expensive car there. That's a Maserati, man. A Maserati? I think that's Italian, man. That's expensive. Ain't cheap. Alright, let's keep moving, right? That's a Metra check there, I think. And they got a whole Mariano's there. Man, we gotta do, we still got time for a sunset. But we're looking for other spots. Maybe we'll do a Rose Hill Cemetery up here. That's a nice spot. Anybody ever go to that cemetery? You know, I've done cemetery tours. I do all of that stuff. We could do all kind, and then what you do is you find the person and you do a Google search of the person and talk about the person in the grave. I've done that before.
Third floor, Osage daughter, female black as a knife, threatening to kill her. Unknown intoxication, no further information, don't declare.
That's sad. Having a fight with her daughter, huh? There's a hamburger joint somewhere around here. I don't know if it's north or south. This is Ravenswood here. Yeah, we watched the World Cup, but I can't afford the tickets. A friend of mine from Algeria just messaged me. As I told you, we do different stuff. So 6:30 news now, they flip it. It's the local news comes first, then the international. Right? And then you'll hear sometimes there's different things. If there's a crime that happens, they usually start off with a crime. Right? And then they'll do the crime like a breaking news. They'll do the local. We'll probably hear the Bally's again. And then they're talking about Valencia or whatever. She's running for office. And you heard, she's been around. She was, think about this. How about this? The union supposedly didn't like Rahm Emanuel, right? Remember, we were against Rahm, right? We helped remove him from office. That's Laquan McDonald. 16 shots. Everybody remembers that, right? He helped cover that up with him and I think it was Gary McCarthy, wasn't it? Was Gary McCarthy at the time? I don't know. And then you have all the people. There was actually a guy from the Daley administration that worked under Brandon Johnson for the first year. So you have all these people that are still around that are part of the old administrations. And you would wonder, and this is why I'm saying this about Brandon Johnson, we'll get to the local news. If he was a progressive and really was about change, why does he have all these old party people around him, right? Machine pilot, upper level. Let's see, man. Maybe this will be one of our sunset spots here, right? And we're always scoping new spots. I mean, I've never been up here. This is a Mariano's, by the way. So think about that. If you start looking through the list, like here, Mary Richardson Lowry. Brandon picked her. Do you know she was part of the school closings under Daley? Think about it. She was part of the school closings under Richard Daley Jr., the junior guy, the kid. She goes that far back. Mary Richardson Lowry. She's now the general counsel of the city. So she's the highest lawyer in the city of Chicago. But she was part of the school closings. Strange, ain't it? Why would you have somebody like that in your office? Think about it. Why would Brandon Johnson have a person that was part of the school closings under Richard Daley? He started the school closings. But yet you hire her as the main lawyer for the city, right? Kind of strange, isn't it? Alrighty, so where's the sun actually? I don't even know which way am I pointing. Alright, that's north. Alrighty, but you can't see. That's the problem here. They got that brick wall there. Alright, we might have to do a sunset. What I'll do is I'll bring a video. I got these stands and I'll put my stand up there. Or I'll sit up there, right? This is a nice spot. Look at that. This is pretty cool, huh? There you go. There's the sky there. So, Marietta, we got another spot for a sunset. But not tonight. We're going to go a little bit more north, I think. We still got 2 hours till the sunset. So, 6:30. We got to listen to the news.
Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Accumulation.
Those clouds look wild, huh? You want to see where I'm at?
At Busey Bank,
there you go. There's the city. Oh, that's Sears Tower over there. See Sears Tower?
Financial partnerships with our clients and their families.
Pretty cool spot, huh? See the Sears Tower way over there? Look at that. That's a cool picture, ain't it?
Personalized approach to your legacy. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1860. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Alliance.
Excuse me, sorry. I like to get that picture. That's a beautiful picture. We're gonna pull up there and get a picture. How about that? Now stretch our legs.
The time now is 6:30 on Wednesday, June 24th, 2026. Good evening, I'm Glenn Marshall, and these are the top stories on News Radio WBBM. Severe weather is barreling through the northern suburbs. We'll check in with AccuWeather for the latest information coming up next.
A hearing on a proposal to ban video gaming terminals in Chicago busts.
This is a waste of time and resources.
I'm political editor Jeff Buckles at City Hall.
Chicago city clerk says she's eyeing another 4 years on the job. Plus, President Trump says he won't sign a bipartisan housing bill unless Congress passes a bill mandating voter ID. And WBBM Sports, the Cubs are taking on the Mets for the second time. They beat them 10-3 earlier. Right now, that game has just started while the Sox trail to Cleveland on the south side, 3-1 at the bottom of the ninth. And we are dealing with some serious weather. A tornado warning is in effect for parts of Kane and Cook counties. Here with more on this situation is AccuWeather senior meteorologist Brian Thompson.
This has been a dangerous cluster of storms line originated in McHenry County and has made its way into the northwestern part of Cook County. And I will say the rotation associated with that storm not looking as strong, but there's still the potential Doppler radar hinting at some pretty strong winds around the Streamwood and Bartlett areas in northwestern parts of Cook County. And there is a severe thunderstorm warning that encompasses the northwestern part of Cook County, really much of DuPage County, and the central part of Kane County until 7:15. The potential for 70-mile-per-hour winds and ping-pong ball-sized hail with this cluster of storms as it moves to the south and east again near Streamwood and Bartlett. This is where that tornado warning is still in effect near just north of Streamwood for a possible tornado, again, that hasn't been confirmed. But again, the potential for some damaging wind gusts. Those are going to be heading toward the Schaumburg area as well. So we will continue to watch the potential for some of these severe storms. Another severe thunderstorm warning in effect for northern parts of DeKalb County until 7. That storm likely producing some large hail and the potential for some damaging winds as well. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect for the area until 10. Again, damaging winds and hail will be the main concerns. Brian Thompson, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Thanks a lot, Brian. And video gaming terminals still appear to be on track for Chicago's bars and restaurants after a hearing on a new bid to block them abruptly. WBBM political editor Jeff Buckles has more.
This is a circus.
Far South Side Alderman Anthony Beale wasted no time bashing allies of Mayor Brandon Johnson for calling a hearing on this proposal to ban video gambling terminals in the city in exchange for reopening talks with Bally's aimed at increasing casino hiring. Before that, Christopher Jewett from Bally's told Alderman the budget vote clearing the way for legalized video gambling will mean less money for the city's police and fire pension funds.
It will hurt the city's finances for years to come.
Hospitality industry lobbyist Pat Dorr called that claim hogwash.
Every other casino except for Rivers Casino has VGT terminals around it, and many of those casinos do better on a per-player revenue than Bally's temporary casino does.
And after criticizing the hearing, Beale did this.
I motion that we adjourn this meeting.
And it passed. It's not clear when or whether the proposal will get a vote. We're at City Hall. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Federal investigators say that the Surfside, Florida condo building collapse that killed 98 people in June of 2021 began 3 weeks prior to the structure falling. NIST investigators note that the initial column failures in the condominium caused cracks to grow and loads to redistribute in the pool deck over the next 3 weeks before it collapsed. The National Institute of Standards and Technology says it'll now focus on writing the final report. The time now is 6:34.
This year, America celebrates 250 years.
So, the collapse of that, remember that, when they pancaked. That's called a pancake collapse, when it goes boom, 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 boom. That's kind of what happened to 9/11. It was a pancake collapse, too, because it doesn't lean over. That's bad. So they say the columns failed, but I think most of those are like totally concrete buildings, right? So that means the concrete must have been bad, huh? north. We're gonna keep moving north. That's the plan here. So that's the local news. So why don't we get to the radio calls again, right? There's nothing else. You already heard all the Trump stuff. They repeat the stuff here. So we'll go back to the radio calls, see if we missed any radio calls, right? There we go.
3 Eddie. 733 Eddie. Number 4, platform checker Roosevelt. 09800 09800. 383 George. 733 George. Lake McHenry. 09806 09806.
I've been in this area. I don't know what I was doing here before, but I did something over here.
389.
I've been back there. McPherson, that's the school. That was the case that lost my job. McPherson, right there, man. I represented a gay guy, and the city didn't, and the union didn't like it. My representation of it. And they got rid of me. That's how life goes. So that, McPherson, that's the case with a member. I filed an ARDC complaint, and my boss said, "Did you file the complaint?" I said, "Yeah, I don't know, man. I think I said no, or I don't want to tell you." I don't remember what I said to her. And they said that I should have been more honest, and I should have told my boss that, but I thought she was retaliating against me, and that's how I filed it. The arbitrator said he didn't have a jurisdiction over the retaliation because that's a state law. So he ruled against me that I broke union rule that said I can't talk to the ARDC. He said I broke that rule and I wasn't honest about breaking that rule. So that's why he upheld my dismissal at the unions. That's how life goes, and you got to make a stand sometimes. And that stand I lost, just like Custer. Custer stood on the hill. What happened to him? He didn't make that one. You see what I mean? There's certain times you stand for something, and sometimes you don't win. That's just how life goes. But you can't, you got to move on, right? Luckily, I'm not like Custer. I still can live. I don't know where the heck I am, man. Winnemac and Winchester. Oh, I live on Winchester on the south side. Same street I live on the south side. That means that's Damon over there, right?
Here we go.
Get a event for quality of life mission.
It's nice up here, huh? Nice wide streets, clean.
25th square line.
A lot of apartment buildings, huh?
09871 09871.
Winchester and Winona.
7353. Look at that, man. 09877 09877.
How about this? 5112 North Winchester. How much is that worth?
1255 South 1, 3rd floor, code 6 daughter, female black as a
5112 North Winchester.
No further information, don't take clear.
Let's see how much the house costs here. Look at how much the house costs right here. See that?
09924.
So the house in back of us cost that much here. Half the, no, that one was 1.7 million we seen, right? So that's a third of the price up here. And it's nicer out here. You got more space.
09935 099.
Yeah, we just passed the house that cost that much. That's still expensive. That's a lot of money. 600,000 for a house, that's a lot. That's right in back of us. All right, let's see. Can we get across this street? Are they going to let us or not? I should have went. This used to be a police station there. I won't tell you how I know. I'll just say I know that used to be a police station right there. Hey, right there. See, stop looking. That was a police station at one time. I shall not go any further to elaborate how I would know that, but I just say I know that.
George. 735 George. That's for 47 the red line.
Oh, it rained up here.
09966 09966. 385 item. 7385 item.
You got a number for sure, migrant.
09970.
It's a rain area up here.
85 Frank, go ahead.
Kitty, bit number 56 Random.
Summerdale.
09977.
You want to see how much these houses they are? Let's go over here.
3213.
Summerdale, right?
3213.
What is this?
Fury load from here. 2 cars are not driving both.
Alright, is that a good location 59 to Lakeshore Drive?
We'll look up this one. 1954 Summerdale. How about that one?
5900 South Lakeshore Drive, southbound.
1957 West Summerdale.
And you need the other one to sit down.
Alright, tough, we'll give a
Holy smokes. They're expensive up here, everybody. It's not cheap.
There you go. Any way we can get the track shut off at the Garfield red line. We have an individual walking on the track.
There you go. They're expensive up here. Garfield red line. Somebody on the tracks shutting off the power during the rush hour.
Show me responding to that.
So who's responding?
340 Adam.
Shutting down the power at Garfield red line. CTA tracks. Somebody walking on them.
Alright, we notified the CTA to cut the power in both directions. 7001 sound.
7394 boy.
7394 boy.
Flag is dead to south. We're going to try to go to 63rd see if we can meet up with him.
Alright, 10-4.
It's $1 million up here, huh?
It's a unit at 63rd Street Rail Line. You know, if I'm kind of guy walking in the direction.
Do we got any units still at 63rd in the rail line? 63rd in the rail line?
Sending people down to 63rd Street red line to apprehend the guy.
And 7350, you got cut out.
2385 David and Eddie should be over at 63rd.
Alright, 7385 David.
2385 David.
You guys at 63rd in the rail line?
Support.
Alright, you copy the transmission.
These are expensive houses over here. Scooter works. It's gonna rain. Look at those clouds there, huh? Oh man, there's a rabbit.
10035.
I think this is Rose Hill Cemetery, ain't it?
Sam. Eyes on that individual. He's running towards 63rd right now.
Somebody on the train tracks.
Has the power been cut? The power's off, right?
That's affirmative. We contacted CTA. They cut the power off.
Well, there's cops in front of us. Let's go see what they're doing. See the police? Police activity. SubX.News. On the spot reporting. We need to have something. We can't have music because they'll ban us. Let's go see what this is about here, huh?
By Unit 5 and Citywide, first to gun 117 normal, 117 normal, male black, blue Nike hoodie, black jogger, in the face with a gun in the hand on normal, not the person on that.
Excuse me. Let's go see what this is
Boy,
about.
we have one detained.
Alright, one detained, 1841 on the clock.
1841, one detained.
From 79 to Hamilton, that's 10078.
Number 8565.
Alright, 10078.
Oh man, it's
62 Audiences 6 and Citywide. We have a report of a person with a gun, 78 Ellis, 78 Ellis. We have a male
one in
wearing
custody,
a camo mask,
1641.
Building dropped a gun and got inside of a silver Jeep. That driver was a male, black, bald head with a beard, wearing a cap. They were last seen going eastbound. Nothing further.
7394 boy, you guys still on the tracks or off the tracks? You said check with the sheriff?
Down here
Cook County on Citywide 1.
On their car? Are you
Cook
kidding
County
me,
on
man?
Citywide 1.
It's bothering a lady about some kind of light on her damn license
Cook
plates.
County PD on Citywide 1.
They're maniacs, man.
7330, Adam. I'm with the county guys right now. All the county guys are.
You need to slow down, motherfucker. You're going too fast.
All right, 10-4. So
You're on the side street, man.
All the county guys are off the track, 63rd Street.
63rd.
You guys doing 40 miles an hour on a side street.
And all of Cook County, we're going to call CTA, let them know they can cut the power back on.
There you go, man. These guys are looking at some license plates there. These guys.
23, David. Step out. 387, boy. You're gonna step out 1 second. Alright, is that 7387, boy?
There we
Boy,
go.
David.
We got some police activity there. How about that, man? We find it everywhere.
Make sure they're coming in.
That's some lady they pulled over.
385, David. 7385, David. David number is 10004. That's 10004. You got 732 en route for the transport.
732 is
7394, boy.
We get a transport over at 63rd.
732 is en route for your transport. 3213.
Has ETA on the reload?
We can double check with Tony so they got an ETA. Stand by.
They have a towing on Lakeshore Drive. Giving her a ticket for some light or something there. See that there? Kind of wild, huh?
Uh, 3213? Yeah, we asked for an ETA. They said they're on the way. So,
7385, David.
7385, David.
From 63rd in the red line, everything is clear here. Everybody's off the track. I don't know if anybody else is on track somewhere else.
CFD has to release their hold before they return the power.
There you go. They let her go. They give her a ticket, right? That's what they do on the north side here. So these are expensive homes. These are $1 million homes up here. Again, who can afford $1 million house? I can't. Can you? Anybody watching this show, can you afford $1 million house?
7330, Adam.
7330, Adam.
Take the ticket. Ambulance 57 has just arrived on scene at the 63rd Street red line at the street level. They're going to evaluate him real quick.
Except for ambulance 57.
394, boy.
7394, boy.
What is ID?
So far, go with the ID, sir.
2002 2098 082 Charlie.
It comes back on a valid photo ID for Edward Coates Jr. with address off of South Emerald out of Chicago. It's clear.
That's one.
Let's keep moving, right? Where are we at? Hermitage now. I think this is Ravenswood, right? So they got the guy in custody that was running on the tracks. Our streets are, the roads are crappy here too. See the roads? They're crappy here, man. Look at that. They got potholes and all that stuff here too. Every street, every neighbor has potholes. Yeah, they got swing sets on their front lawns here. Hollywood, Hermitage and Hollywood. We're that far north, huh? I gotta see the street there. See the street? See the potholes? 5710 North, Hermitage. See all the potholes there? Ain't no street. That ain't nice, right? Rose Hill. I'm pretty sure that was Rose Hill Cemetery back there. Alright, let's keep moving. Oh man, they got some really expensive homes there, it looks like. Oh, they even got, these are the ones, look at this. This is how fancy these are. They even got coach houses. Look at that. Yeah, we're in an expensive neighborhood here. Look at that. There's a coach house there, man. So, on one property house, there's some nice ones there. Look at that. Those are all matching there. See that there? That's pretty cool right there. Really nice matching fence. See that there? That's really nice up here. Look at that. That's pretty nice, man. There's an apartment building, right? Oh, I have no idea where the hell I'm at right now. Well, there's a courtyard there. Oh, where am I at? Come on, bro. You can go. Alright, and we're at Thorndale. It says 1723 West Thorndale. That's where we're at. So we're far north right now. That's where we're at. And we travel all over. We do different things. And we'll listen to 7 o'clock news, sign off, and we'll figure out what we're going to do after that, right? You know, sometimes we got to look at different places and see how different people live, right? We can't just see the same thing all the time. Your brain then gets like a brick, man. Then you become a blockhead. It's called you become a blockhead. We don't want to be blockheads. We want our brains to be a little bit soft. We don't want them to be hard, man.
732 transporting you, run to 7. Alright, 10-4. If you guys need that event number again, it's 10004.
10004. We're gonna write that down.
7374.
Where are we at? Is this Lincoln again?
Yeah, Van Brook, make sure you bus ride.
Over here, we did a video here about the street.
Bus number 4204.
Oh, this is Clark's. Let me get that event number there for that.
Take 10205.
I want that number for that event, right? The red line event.
73. It comes back on a valid photo ID for Edward Cope. 7387 boy. 7387 boy. We have Van Brook Mission bus ride going north from Ontario. Bus number 4204. 7330 Adam. 7330 Adam. Response by everybody. You can clear everyone up. Sands, that SAM team. And show 732 transporting the arrestee to 7. Alright, 10-4. And if you guys need that event number again, it's 10004. 7387 boy. 7387 boy. We have Van Brook Mission bus ride going north from Ontario. Bus number 4204. The event number is 63 on the right line. So 10004, 10004. 7330 Adam. 7330 Adam. Response by everybody. You can clear everyone up. Sands, that SAM team, and show 732 transporting the arrestee to 7. Alright, 10-4. And if you guys need that event number again, it's 10004. 7387 boy.
10004, 3 zeros, right?
Going north from Ontario, bus number 4. It comes back on a valid photo. 738 Adam. 738 Adam. Berlin Blue Line heading south, please. Can we get a number?
85 Frank.
The event number is 63 on the right line.
So 10004, 10004.
7330 Adam.
7330 Adam.
Passed by everybody, you can clear everyone up, stand the tag team, and show 732 transporting the arrestee to 7.
If you guys can go,
Let's keep moving north. That's where we're heading.
7387 boy. 7387 boy. Event from Michigan bus ride going north from Ontario, bus number 4204. Take 10205, 10205.
Units at 5 is citywide damage to property in progress at the Walgreens 103 and Michigan. Caller reporting 18 of black and her 30 white shirt, black robe, and wearing a blue open is damaging merchandise. Walking to the store was used in the lead. Nothing further until next year.
10264, 1034. 737.
You just heard it. Criminal damage to Walgreens 103 in Michigan, right? Female, right?
That's 3 bus. That's bus number 129 from 79 to
Criminal damage to property, black female, Walgreens 103 in Michigan.
Vehicle 4908. Try now. 4363 boy. 4363 boy. Hey squad, can you log off 4363 Adam from vehicle 4908? Try now.
We might do storm coverage tonight, right? Like I say, people, there was a lot of guys early on. It stopped. It stopped. Sometimes it happens. But they would go, "Where are you going? What are you doing?" Like, I don't know. I never thought of being up here on Ridge and whatever this is, Clark. That's Ridge. This is Clark.
732 George.
You want to see something cool? I'll show you something cool. I know some spot over here. You guys are going to like this one here. I'll show you. No turn on red.
Can I get lunch
Let's see where I'm at. I done a sunset video from here. This is a nice spot. I'll show you. If the sun is sitting right, you get a great video of here. I'll show you why. You want to see why? You gotta like. It's kind of romantic. There you go. You gotta see this one. See that there? There you go. That's why it's romantic. There you go. See that there? And if you get the sunset, if it's sitting right here, it's right in back of it. Oh yeah, it's a nice sunset over here.
7350. Can you log off 92 so I can log off too? Alright, try now.
Pretty cool, right? I know some spots. Again, I shall not say how I know this spot. I just know it, right? There you go, right? The heart of Chicago. Pretty cool, huh?
7387 boy. 7387 boy. Making event for
Alright, ready to get out of here?
Going south from Chicago. Bus number is 4392.
I have no idea which way I'm going. I don't know what I want to do yet.
10271.
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock news, and then we'll call it quits on the first broadcast, right? 7 o'clock. There you go.
The floor. Neighbors are coming down to the streets.
And here at home, a rural area of Northern California experiencing its strongest earthquake since 1940 this morning. Some injuries, but no immediate reports of major damage. Another day of scorching heat in France, Paris hitting 105 degrees. So hot across much of Europe that tourist sites have shut down. American tourist Tanya Thompson said that they were lucky to have reserved tickets before noon.
And the last entry was at 2 p.m., so many people who've traveled from around the world aren't getting to see the sights that Paris has to offer because of this heat wave, and it's dangerously hot.
Lawmakers held a ceremony on Capitol Hill to dedicate an America 250 time capsule that'll be buried in Philadelphia on July 4th. Architect of the Capitol, Thomas Austin.
The capsule itself measures over 4 feet wide, 2.5 feet deep, and over 4 feet tall. We needed such a big capsule to tell the story not only of the United States Congress, but also of the American people.
You're listening to ABC News.
Let me tell you something. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again.
We've been on this road a couple of times.
Business runs all year, and so do the gaps and the risks. That's why I'm introducing...
I think I did a video somewhere about the street here, how bad the potholes are.
CFO or HR manager. It can be too complex.
Far north side. Are we far north side? Yeah, we're close to Evanston up here, maybe. Starting to get there. I don't think we've passed Peterson yet. Have we? Have we passed Peterson yet? Once you get past Peterson, then you're far north. We're at Granville now. We're by the bar I used to go to. There used to be a bar up here, somewhere on one of these streets. I knew some guys that lived up here a long, long time ago. We're talking about when I was in my 20s. It's a bar up here, a hillbilly bar. Right here, they used to have lingerie shows in the old days. They still got lingerie shows in those bars? Sal, where's my boy Sal at? Hey Sal, do they still have lingerie shows or not? I think that might be back on Montrose still. I think that's on Montrose. Back of me. I don't know no more.
And the time now is 7.
Lingerie show.
Wednesday, June 24th, 2026. Good evening. I'm Glenn Marshall. It's currently 73 degrees here on the partly sunny skies here in Chicago, but we are dealing with some wild weather.
What's up, Holly?
Thunderstorm watches until 10 p.m.
You know what?
We're talking about
for the ladies, did they ever have like men's lingerie shows in those days? I mean, I didn't go to them. I know that they had lingerie shows for the dudes. It was chicks in lingeries in those days. But I don't know if they had anything comparable for the ladies in those days.
Still the severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern DuPage.
That's when a shot in the beer was $1.
For a cluster of storms around
You could get a shot in the beer for $1. See, that's how far back I go.
And then just in the last 10 minutes, a pretty powerful storm just popped up over the Naperville area in southern Kane County. That has prompted a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is in effect until 8 o'clock.
Up here, right?
For southern part of DuPage County, south central parts of Cook County, also the north central portion of Will County. Again, the storms near the Naperville
Those were
area,
gross.
Woodridge and
yeah, they could be.
Lamont, again, that southwestern corner of Cook County. So we're watching these storms.
Hey, they're just saying it wasn't Victoria's Secret caliber. They just say that. You're making me laugh, Holly.
Southern part of Cook County, that's now in effect until 8:30. So we're going to continue to watch these storms.
You had to have a few drinks there, and just say that.
Very heavy rainfall. Brian Thompson News Radio.
Very heavy rainfall.
WBBM.
Thanks a lot, Brian. We're going to check back in with you at 7:15 to see that AccuWeather 5-day forecast. The time now is approaching 7:05, and Governor Pritzker has put pen to paper on changes he says cements Illinois' place as a nationwide leader in reproductive health rights. This story is coming from
whatever, man. Whatever. You wanna do something, do it. It's funny, Holly. See, we go back. We're probably You know what? We probably might have bumped elbows at one time way back in the day. That's all I got to say. People don't get it, what a good time was in the old days. Some stuff was messed up, some stuff was cool, but it was part of what? Neighborhoods, right? That's what neighborhoods did, one or the other. Had food on the weekends for the Bears games, sometimes for baseball night, right? It was what it is. I think we were more of a community in those days. You can say it was good or bad, I don't know, you know what I'm talking about? I forget what the place is. It's right up here somewhere. They were at Pratt now. We're far up north.
Campaign video begins with her talking about her roots as the daughter of a working class family from the Metro East area town of Granite City.
I think I'm gonna get dinner though.
Many times we
I'm hungry. How about that?
Paycheck. Their values and work ethic still guide me today.
The video then features
and then
her
I'll
talking
sit
about
here.
initiatives
It'll be the
including
end at 7 o'clock.
ID program, Amnesty Month for past due fines and fees on violations and city stickers, and moves designed to make city government more transparent.
I implemented electronic voting to allow Chicagoans to see the decisions their city council makes on their behalf in real time.
Former Mayor Rahm Emanuel appointed her in 2016 to take over as clerk when Susana Mendoza became state comptroller. She was then elected to full terms in 2019 and 2023 after falling short in a 2022 bid to succeed Jesse White as Illinois Secretary of State.
That's what
City Hall, Jeff
Junulius
Radio
won, right?
1059, WBBM.
We've seen ICE agents show up near courthouses to detain immigrants, and now Cook County prosecutors say they're trying to close a loophole that advocates claim has shared data that is supposed to be protected.
Nah, I won't. Hey, what kind of meal deals you got here?
We got a $5 McChicken meal deal and a $6 McDouble meal deal.
Give me that $6 one.
Alright. What sauce and drink would you like?
Oh, you can give me a Dr. Pepper.
Would that be a medium?
Whatever comes with the deal.
Alright, and what sauce would you like?
Why don't you give me, what do you got? There's some honey mustard one?
Yeah, we can do honey mustard. Anything else?
That's it.
You said Dr. Pepper, right?
Yes, please.
Alright, is everything good on the screen?
Yeah, there you go.
Alright, it's gonna be $6.87 first window.
Why are you charging me upcharge? Oh, because it's a medium or what?
Yeah, because it's a medium. Do you want it to be a small?
Yeah, just give me a small. That's fine. I don't need it. I don't need it to be bigger. How much did I save? 20 cents?
Hold on, let me check real quick. Mustard. That's small, Dr. Pepper. Alright, the new price is gonna be $6.65, yeah, like 20 cents.
Oh man, alright, yeah, alright, they got me on the tax. Thank you.
Alright, first window, you're welcome.
65-cent tax, man. So how much tax is that? Did you just see that? So it's a $6 meal, and it's 65 cents tax. What is that? 11% or something like that? That's outrageous, man. They're crazy. They're stealing our money there. Alrighty, well, it's 7 o'clock. We're gonna look for a sunset. Sunset's at about 8:30, so we're gonna drive around, figure out where we can get to a top position, see something. Maybe we'll put on some music. We'll probably be in the middle of a storm. Remember that one we were in the middle of the tornadoes that one day? So that's what we're gonna do. I hope everybody has a good dinner, if you didn't eat dinner yet. And I appreciate everybody watching. We won't repeat some of the things we talked about because, you know, they might not go good with dinner. You know what I mean, Holly? We'll keep some of that to ourselves. But I appreciate everybody watching. The main story for today was what? They're talking about video gambling. And that's the mob, right? The mob says we don't want we don't want video gaming around us because it's going to take away from us. And they're saying it doesn't have no bearing on it. Whatever. Junulius is 18 million or whatever he's got, 8 million or 18 million. I don't even know how much he has, how many millions he has. Now he can give it to any mayoral candidate if he wants. So we'll see how that shakes out. 63rd Street, there was a guy running on the tracks. They shut off the trains in the middle of rush hour. They caught him. He's in custody. What other main stuff happened there? And some fighting with Trump in Capitol Hill. And that's about it. So, hey, that's the way it goes some days, right? It's just regular living. And that's how most people are, like me. I just regularly live. I get up every day. I do my thing and come out. And some of the other things that happen, you know, that it is what it is. But in the end, every day is just getting up, eating right, and doing the things that we need to help each other, help ourselves, and help our families and our community. So I hope everybody has a great dinner. Talk to you later. It is now... Oh, air fried chicken. There we go. There we go. Now we're talking. It's 7:11 p.m. It's June 24th, 2026. I'm going to be signing off. We'll see. I'll probably do a sunset from somewhere. So talk to you later, all right? Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate you. SubX.News signing off.